Anubis, more play rate with the squad, and I've yet to see a huge amount from Kenzie Zor just because of the limited sample size that we've seen from him in the last few tournaments since joining up with Bates.
I think I'm going to join you there on the Zero Tenacity perspective. It just feels like they're a more stable team into this matchup. I feel like in the long term, Bait could still usurp them. They could still improve upon their current position, but as of right now, things are a little bit too shaky. So let's see whether Zero Tenacity can make it a simple affair, or whether it will be dragged out all the way by Bait. Pistol round of our first map of Nuke is ready to go.
Bait struggling on Nuke for quite some time. 6 losses on HLTV in a row for them. You compare that against Zero Tenacity. Last 3 months, 10 wins and 4 losses. Watch out for Namana and Chofo when it comes to this map. They're always going to be the impact players.
Set towards the CT side for Bait initially. MPL is your forward man. Namana is right around that corner though. P250 at the ready and taking himself right up towards the red box, looking out the outside and hoping that he can spot players at yard. MPL playing hidden behind this smoke though, happy to wait things out, evade that flash, and Chofo gets very close as a result here. He'll reveal himself with the footsteps. This is going to be the chance for the man to strike, but Alex instead takes first blood. Trades a Brute are good on the site, doubling up as well towards MPL. Kenzie Zor and Arvin go back and forth. The bomb's on site and can get planted.
And late lurk on the outside means that esenthial's being watched. Namana gets an easy kill, and Headtrick's made all the noise in the world.
Try and pop forward ahead of Squeaky, now known, of course, towards the T side. A 1-on-3 scenario for the USP, and surely the best he can do is get one good headshot out of this, but no more than that. They will bear down upon him, and all he can do at this stage is fight as best as possible, but ultimately his best may not be good enough here. Pistol win with Zero Tenacity.
A great discipline in that 3v1. Notice how no one's really over-fighting. You've got a little bit of a jiggling from Avon at the back of Tetris. You've got another sort of Namana just committing ever so slightly, but not all the way. And it just means that Headtrick's basically getting no chance. No individual fights can go his way to set up that clutch. Real good work from Brute Monster coming out from Hut. You have the opening kill from the main player for Bait, but as soon as the double trade comes in from Brute out in Hut, they maintain the bomb site and get the bomb down easily.
The starting advantage to be featured, of course, by the Zero Tenacity side, and you're expecting a map like Nuke can go swimmingly for them if they continue to get their way. Not been amazing from Bait in their recent affairs, and the majority of it has been CT-based. However, very one-sided scoreline losses to teams, like you mentioned before, Spirit Academy during the Challenger League. At the end of last year, they lost a pretty one-sided affair towards Ecstatic and all.
Well, let's extrapolate that Spirit Academy game, because that was only very recently. Started on the CT side and had a 2-10 half. I mean, how does that even happen? 2 rounds in 1 half on the CT side of Nuke?
I mean, maybe we're about to find out right now. So far scoreless, and with the force buy in mind, that could be a problem that metastasizes. Zero Tenacity still playing the slower kind of game here, though. Careful to what Bait are going to throw at them. Not going to see any shenanigans, though. Just hearing footsteps in the out yard.
A lot of space being taken from Z10, but watch out for the late lurk of Simki. And once maybe the CTs try an info play, try and retake some space into lobby, which they're doing now from the ramp take, this is where Simki could catch them off.
Doesn't opt to peek forward for it, though. Chofo instead draws first contact against Kenzie Zor, down and out in heaven. One of the SMGs lost, 4 of which were brought in play by Bait. Simki's expecting them to push out lobby and try get towards spawn. Instead, they just wrap out towards the site, and MPL will fall for it. Simki can finally strike, get esenthial to drop. Alex nailed down low and dead to rights on Brute. Headtrick, 1-on-5. Maybe a couple of players that you can pick up Simki, especially on 2 points of health and very close towards him. 1 decent kill, but that shouldn't go much further than that.
I had a chat with both the coach, Philip, and Namana only a couple of weeks ago, and sort of discussing how their year went down, that they were overall quite happy with the level of performance. It was their most successful yet a part of the team and the organization. But the one thing that you can always fantasize and you can always understand from them is the lack of LAN opportunities. You always get your local LANs in the Serbian scene where, yeah, you can pretty much lift a title, but where are the international LANs coming from? And knowing that ECL's got a pathway to Pro League, knowing how important the Valve ranking is going to be this year, I'm sure that Zero Tenacity, with the grinding mindset they had last year, is let's try and push ourselves as high in the rankings as quickly as possible. By, let's say, February, March, we want to be in the conversation for LAN tournament invitations.
We don't have to focus on some of the more lower level LANs, however. Of course, they are still outside of the top 50 on VRS at the moment. They're in the top 60, in fact, for that matter. You are right. Those LAN opportunities have been few and far between. I know that last year they got close to going to that Reds LAN. but missed out on the 4th spot by 30 points behind the Sangle camp. And Z10, of course, new year, new objectives, and there's many new tournaments to play at the moment. ESL Challenger League seems to be going swimmingly for them so far in the first group stage, but again, is Bait or anyone else going to throw some spanners into the works? As of right now, the answer to that question is no. It's upgrade pistols only for round 3. This should be a 3-0 start for the Zero Tenacity lot.
Well, I really appreciate no roster changes in the Christmas break. You look at the majority of teams here at ECL, you're going to struggle to pick squads that didn't make a single change over that summer break.
They have held firm and true. Esenthial picked up by Namana. Decent damage done by these pistols on the outside for Bait. Alex will get nothing more out of his P250. So standard stuff in the rifles versus the ecos. See if Headtrick can escape with one exit frag. And he does. Namana drops. AK should get hunted back though. They don't want to let that fall in towards CT-sided hands. The bomb plant will be secured in the meantime, so there's not real concerns about the round going awry. Just making sure that no further damage comes of it. Making sure the Headtrick does not hold on to that AK, and indeed he does not. 3-0 start for Zero Tenacity. Bait now to their first rifle buy of the series.
And maybe we can start talking about match sharpness being a difference between these two squads. Zero Tenacity played 22 best-of-3s in the last 3 months on HLTV, whereas Bait in that same time window had played 17 maps. We're talking about a huge disparity on the amount of tournaments, on the amount of officials against at least top-end squads. Bait have not had much time at all to embed Kenzizor into this roster, and for Zero Tenacity, hasn't been much of a struggle for the most part on this T side, but now that the rifles come out, this is where Bait can start putting a threat down.
Look at how quickly MPL is going to make his way outside, and won't go so far as to regress past red box, and will tank some damage as a result. Well read there by Zero Tenacity, half HP, the man already. Will his M4 be able to do anything with his position, though? He's hiding in that smoke. Headtrick's there to support, but he's got no vision. Instead, Namana and Chofo line up for him, and MPL can escape with a 5-on-3.
Yeah, well, it's just going to be an A-split out from main and through the top site with the util. Unfortunately, a lazy clearance there from Zero Tenacity gives the in-game leader 2 easy picks. Avon can get a trade back, and from this point onwards in a 2v4, you just want to do damage if you're Z10. Try and cripple away at the economy, just even if you can get 1 or 2 more picks against the CTs.
And they got cash to buy back in the next. They are trying to find an avenue of workability. Of course, the bomb's been left on none of the 2 players here. Back at the entrance towards lobby on the T-side line. Alex does dive away at the wrong moment, just seeing Avon, who does get a chance on Headtrick. Take him back and double up onto Alex. 3 HP, though. Kenzizor will trade him. Has Brute been given a chance at the clutch, though? He's grabbed the bomb. It's on his back. Kenzizor does not think that he's going to come back out from Squeaky. He's got a chance to go down to that B-bomb site.
Indeed he does, but he wants to take a fight against the A player. This is all about timing on the jiggles now.
Rosie's there, center of the bomb site, and finds the headshot. Oh, this is wonderful. The Molotov up towards heaven as well. He's going to pull him for a loop. 20 seconds. The bomb needs to go down.
Yeah, he's expecting the ramp rotation to come in. Esenthial's going up towards heaven, and unfortunately, Brute Monster, with the time being played, he's now being read by Esenthial.
10 seconds. Brute to check main. Bomb tapped and held. Footsteps. Not quite heard either. Esenthial up on the rafters, looking to the left. He's in the shadow, and the advantage is given up by Brute. What an effort that was, but it wasn't to be.
I actually think that's a phenomenal recovery there from Z10. The bomb plant is a bit of an added bonus. Didn't exactly need the money, but you're in a 2v4 with Avanon and Galil where the 2 T-side players are separated from one another, and you've actually given yourself a very good chance of winning it. Now, economy's going to be crippled. You might even see the odd for Mars coming in here for Bait just to get that extra piece of util. So Z10, in their minds, they go, right, round number 5, this is a perfect opportunity to force that reset and give ourselves a 5-1 start on T.
Excellent potential right now from Z10. Can they turn it into success off the back of that heavy damage, though? Bait want to try and recover. AK, M4s, SMG from us. Very broken investment by comparison to the full gambit of AKs and the AWP out for Brute. It's very slow to the contact, except for these outside players. MPL almost got another lineup. T's will walk their way forward and escape with their lives. escape the ire of the man who recharges forward on Chofo's challenge on the center of the bomb site. Oh, what an adjustment on the mana as well. Genzi Zor does get fragged back, but Headtrick maintains the trade game once again. A 3-on-2 situation as Alex charges right into the face of Avan, removes him from play, and Brute is in a 1-on-3.
And that's mega unfortunate from the Z10 side, because you could see for Namana, that's a pretty easy kill up against MPL. He's got to adjust all the way to the left-hand side of Credit Card. You'd give the T that fight every single day of the week, but it's a whiff spray, and it's frustration, because if that kill goes differently, A bomb site's cracked, completely opened up, it's probably an instant save by the CTs, and all you can really say is that Bait have been reliant on their NPL star in-game leader back-to-back rounds to get multi-frags.
He's certainly finding the most impact right now. Surely should not find much more in this round, especially as Brute seems like he's about to gain control of the bomb site down at B. Planter secure, but that will signal the full-blown retake, and then it's still a 1-on-3 situation with an AWP in mind. The HP won't be a massive benefit towards the challenge on MPL. Has heard that one player coming in from ramp. Checks esenthial. Hell of a headshot to gain. Is there more coming, though? Not from ramp side. Back from Decon. The CTs are now on the site making noise. HE sent towards his general position will do a little bit of damage. They'll tap it, hold it all the way. It seems like in the back lines they spotted the one player out there. Alex continues to hold the 10-second stick, though. Brute thinks it might be a fake, and it certainly is not. NPL, another impactful frag. A triple in the round with the quick peek of the headshot. And Bay have staved off the reset.
Well, this is where now we start looking at our impact players. You've got MPL that's being a bit of a demon outside. He's at the back of red. He's out there at Icebox. He's constantly fragging. So Namana's got to come up with a way of trying to neutralize him, whether that's putting more bodies towards outside or less bodies. That's going to come down to both the coach and the in-game leader to make that adaptation, to make a difference, to stop MPL with these fragging abilities at the moment.
Only one round advantage. Recoverable from Bates here, but their Tenacity have fought valiantly in these awkward stances, thinking about that 2v4 from a couple rounds ago.
I'm thinking this could still be dangerous. I mean, Hero AK with upgraded pistols for everyone, you've got to be looking for 2-3 kills in this round if you're Z10.
That's what I'm saying. They could well find it with how confident they've played thus far. The Eagles on 3, as you mentioned. Weakest weapons, the P250 for Chofo, who does lead the charge on the outside of the diagonal smokes. HE's to open those smokes up, but will not see anything from Bait. They'll start to clear. Namana is watching the main entrance. MPL quickly bursted upon. They know that AK's now in play, but do they suspect the rest of the force buy?
And Simki's got to try and cut one of these rotations. Whether it's an A player going down the vent or even a ramp player trying to take lobby, he needs to find impact because he's the only player in lobby on the lurk.
No noise made by Z10. Namana checking those corridors, made a little bit of noise on that drop-off. esenthial will know they have access all the way. Kenzizor in the meantime has taken Simki. That's from the lobby position. Door will open for Namana. Is he going to time this well against esenthial? He almost did. The P250 moves on. The M4 gets taken aback for it. There's a rifle now that can get picked up by Zero Tenacity. The Deagle of Avan is first port of call, though. Tagged up by the AWP. The bomb plant is secured, so there's cash basis to work with. Are Bait going to back off and save? No, they are just waiting for backup to come in from Secret.
Watch about Namana, though. He's going to try and fight the players aggressively from Secret, but lose it.
Alex turns it around, and MPL and gains the advantage, extends it as well to Chofo. Avan so low HP, finally dead. Brute's Deagle now to try and take any more damage. Not going to happen, so Zero Tenacity. It was mostly pistols. They gain at least the cash bonuses, and they can go in with a very, very strong buy as Bait will equalize.
And you can just feel that Z10 are being a threat right now. Even though it's been a bit of a round streak from Bait, that's a 4v4 where if Namana hits that first kill against the Secret player, there's a bit of time stalling, there's a bit of chaoticness. That's a pretty well played round. For Bait, they've just now got to try prioritizing holding on to a strong economy line, because I'm looking at double AKs being saved, and now with sort of the AWP investment from the previous round coming in, they've got to look at this and say, right, let's try and make it 4, 5 rounds in a row. Let's keep mass players alive. Let's try and deny bomb plants if we can to not allow the constant rebuys from Z10.
We're all squared up. Zero Tenacity. Placing the AWP this time of Head Trick. Can't afford the same on their own line, opting for the full-blown rifles. The automatic AKs across the entire board. And back to this slow passive default they'll go. Pretty slow with the walk-ups, concealing as much information. The second wave of utility will finally enable them to get outside.
Well, it's a bit of a change-up. Headtrick's going a bit more aggressive with the AWP and playing down in secret. This could be the first contact from the CT perspective.
Head Trick. Oh, what a shot. Straight through the railing, connecting onto Namana. HG's on Brute to ensure that they don't get away scot-free on the other individuals. Man advantage. Esenthial will look to try and extend now here at the ramp entrance. Simki and Avan are moving. Start prodding. M4 season both gets a lot of damage on Simki, but Avan's there for the kill to a returning man advantage.
Now, they don't have to commit lower here, and the CTs are making a bit of an info play. In from door and towards hut, there's a bit more intent here from Bait.
And Head Trick's fallen back, but he's still hearing those footsteps. Avan, a ton of noise. Will the pistol in his hands be able to take a head or two off? Kenzizor is going to find Chofu in the meantime. Now Alex is on the way downstairs because they're making no qualms about this. Brute, however, has just got the kill. The bomb has been revealed. They still think it's going to be the B-side play, but there's a rotation involved from that secret player. Avan all the way in the rafters. Head Trick is hiding it dark. 10 seconds on the clock. The AWP has stuck up. The shot connects. Brute, he's not getting away with the plant at all. And Head Trick sneaky beaky plays have won him a sneaky beaky round on Bait.
Here we go. We are seeing impact moments consistently from Bait. And I'm thinking about what I'm noticing from just positions. You've got MPL outside, okay? He's maintaining garage, main, deeper plays into hell. And then in that round, you've got the AWP down in secret. I think you got to stop committing outside if you're Z10. I think you got to be focusing on top site hits, more pressure towards ramp, because if you're just losing as many players towards MPO and Head Trick, you're going to be at mad disadvantages quite often here.
Now those guys most certainly are showing up the majority of the impact. 4 kills in the last round for Head Trick, an extremely smart play from him, waiting until the very last second to pull the trigger on that play. Could have struck at any point, but decided against it, and well, you see how they reap the rewards for that. Z10 now finally crippled properly on this economy game. A half buy with the upgraded pistols.
And you could quite easily say another lazy check there from Z10. Didn't clear out that back red box position against MPL previously, and then when they knew that Head Trick was down in secret, no one's checking dark.
They'll be lacking today. Start off wonderfully. A lot of situations, a lot of circumstances telegraphing their victory. Chofo's going to try and see if they can maintain that and restore it. In this particular case, alongside Brute and Simki, it's all coming apart for Bait. The pistols have ruined them, even with a TK involved. Zero Tenacity have got a 4 versus 2, and the last 2 players of Bait have got to fall back and save.
Well, that's the first time for MPL that he's been full blind in which an exchange is happening. That's an easy flash towards the main entrance. The Tech-9's going to get a freebie and a pure collapse towards the A site. Now, Head Trick and Esenthial just need to make sure that both the AWP and the M4 stay in play, because the money for MPL and Alex is actually quite limited.
Need to get these drops on if they want to continue buying, most certainly. These 2 players will have to facilitate it. They're prodding for more exits, but none are coming their way. Z10 will start to back off towards spawn. Can't recover many of those weapons, unfortunately. Only the 1 rifle in for Chofo. But they get away with the round victories. They can buy all sorts. We said before, Bait, of course, will be able to drop their guns towards MPL and Alex, so they'll be able to buy. Kenzizor's got no issues. Another gun round for round 9.
And there is a real rich history between these 2 sides. 6 best-of-3s played between April and September last year. I'd love for this rivalry to start up again in 2025. They'll be playing in the majority of similar Tier 2 competitions, and anytime you get a bit of back and forth, right, you get a series going one way, then the other, it starts building up to something, to then you think, whoa, actually, who is the better team?
In terms of their goals, they're both outside of the top 40 on VRS, so they will be working to try and improve those rankings and try and get better invites at better tournaments. So victories like this may well matter. Oh, spray is fantastic for Avan. That certainly matters to Alex. A beastly set of numbers against his HP marker. 5 points left for the rest of the round.
You've got Namana, who's been able to take a lot of map control outside, but his teammates are slightly further behind. You've got Brute Monster that's just scaling, scoped in towards the garage entrance. Chofo also behind him. They know that MPL has been quite aggressive in these last few rounds towards outside, and Head Trick previously on the gun round had the AWP down in secret. He's doing it again.
Smoke suppression on those two main entryways towards the upper bomb site. Esenthial still waiting for someone to prod from ramp. It's outside control for the majority of Z10. The bomb has been left back at the spawn entrance, though.
And not a lot of util left by the CTs. They've got, what, one more resmoke on Hetrick and an incendiary, and that's pretty much it.
Chofo's found an angle to walk, but MPL's ready for it. Killed off. Chofo again, taking one of those impact players out. He's not ready for Esenthial, though. And turns to the M4, peeks into the lockers. Chofo has been traded. Still a 4-on-4 with an advantage for Z10. Again, looking at Alex's HP, but he's on that AWP now.
And time is starting to dwindle. This is going to be a top site play.
Brute struck. Oh, two fantastic frags. Alex and Hetrick down. Esenthial does take him back. Kenzizor is looking to lean in a Simki and adjusts well. The bomb's been dropped. 13 seconds. The Heaven player now needs to strike. Esenthial checks for him, though. Namana with the headshot. Now Kenzizor tries to protect the bomb. There's 5 seconds, though. They can't get it down in time. They have to hunt the last CT. Did they secure it? Oh, no, they did not. Bait get away with a steal and a half, and Kenzizor with after-time frags and all.
And that is an incredible recovery from Bait, because it looked incredibly unlikely that they were actually going to be able to win that round. Now, you might look at that, Jay, and say, oh, well, they took so long, right? They didn't have a lot of time. The problem is, Namana's coming Heaven rotate, and you just can't make noise, can you? As soon as you start coming up that ladder quickly, the tail is up, so you need to slow it down as much as you can. Brute has done everything with the kills outside, towards Secret, into main. Just not quite capitalizing and not getting that bomb down. Bait, it's a miracle.
Kenzizor got the right kill at the right time. Simki's going to get some revenge, though. Deagle's in play. The hero rifle once again. SMG players are charging right into the T-side line. Esenthial's now down. MPL's going to strike on Brute and to be successful in that kill, but there's so many more to gain. The hero rifle's yet to strike on Avon's part, and they've already gained the man advantage.
You've got MPL that's still searching and up against Simki. Could this be another Deagle kill? No, not quite.
Chofo next up. Oh, what a shot that is. MPL down as they play distraction as well. Chofo leaning in for a second, and Alex is dead as well. Oh, the Deagles are doing it again for Z10. Hetrick now, 1-on-3. One of the 2 top fraggers for the CT side. Now needs to provide some top frags here in a clutch.
It's insane to think that since the 3-0 start that Zero Tenacity have had, the only rounds that have been won is the Tech-9 upper crunch and then a lobby play with upgraded pistols. That's Bait potentially being in like a map-winning position, right? You're up 5-4. You could then push it to 6-4. Limitations for the next gun round. You might be looking at an 8-4 CT half and thinking, mate, this is banging. We've got them on the ropes. We're really pressurizing against Namana and the boys. And then all of a sudden, you've just let the eco slip. So now your own economy is kind of ruined, and you probably give Zero Tenacity at least 6 rounds on the T side.
And they should take the lead at the very least. Bay getting lost in the sauce in that round. Hetrick will at least get an exit frag onto Namana, but it shouldn't make a massive amount of difference. Won't get hunted as well at the end of Secret. Almost found Haven.
Should be a buy here. I mean, you've got Kenzizor and Alex at a double eco and Hetrick at 1800. Buy it up all the way.
No reserves for round 12, though. Got to try and win this. Zero Tenacity will claim, or should claim the lead right here.
Maybe a lobby crunch, set the M4 to get some fights outside. This is such a tough round to win just with the weaponry alone.
Mana from range of the AK. First port of call on outside. MPL's happy not to press the issue and engage him. Similar story for Alex also at Squeaky. He went down towards Secret instead. Try and get back out from the corridors. Esenthial blind past the smoke, does not hit any of those shots. Instead, return to 40 points of health. Hetrick does find his kill, and a second on Chofo. I think a gap must have broken in that smoke, the diagonals towards outside. It's gotten the kill on the lower ground as well as the silo itself, so a 5-on-3 has ensued for Bait.
This is just pure frustration from both squads right now. Both teams are winning rounds that they shouldn't be winning. Right here for Bait, even the M4 could be set up to do more damage. Just get it in somebody else's hands. It's got more HP. Brute clearing out lobby. It's going to be a ramp take. You've got Esenthial as the only player at ramp, but one of the A players, either Kenzizor or Hetrick, can drop Ven.
Raven's leaning closer. Esenthial with the 5-7. Corner held for Aven. Going to check those back lines. Going to check that site. Can Esenthial catch him off guard? Hunting for a pick on his B defensive and ramp defensive for a fair amount of time and got very little for it. Brute and the AWP will start leaning forward. The 5-7 strikes, looks back on as the AWP shot misses. Brute unable to connect a second peak, and suddenly it all looks good for Bait. Nothing that Simkey can do in a 1-on-5 without bomb control, without time. He's without this round.
And do we maybe put this down to a lack of matches and officials being played in the new year, that we're getting this sort of scrappy style of CS? I would say both of these teams at their peaks last year would not be losing rounds to 5-7s and 10-9s and Deagles. And for that to have happened 3 times in 11 rounds of CS, perhaps it is just the new year jitters, so that it's getting back into the whole system, getting back into playing officials regularly, getting the scrims under their way. This is not what you're expecting from the level of both of these teams today.
No, not at all. Not always even coming from the impactful guys on their respective squads. If it was Headtrick or MPL having a massive moment in that last round, which to be fair, Headtrick did. But esenthial, the man to close down those 2 frags at the end of the round, only on 5 kills, was bottom of the board prior to that round.
And it's difficult for both Aven and for Brute Monster to clear every angle, isn't it? I mean, that's a bit of a one-for-done position. Very rarely gets played at the lower bomb site. But when it's a bit high-pressured, it's a 3v5, there's low time on the clock, you just can't afford to check every single angle in that lower bomb site. And it's the 5-7 that just does a lot of work to set Bait up with a really good-looking buy going into round 12.
What was a guaranteed half advantage for Zero Tenacity, no longer such the case. Mac 10 and Galil for Choffo and Aven, as you say, limited buys. Hasn't stopped them in the past, though. They're going to make their way outside past Red Box into Secret. Namana trying to challenge close against MPL. MPL tags Aven in the back and takes Namana out the front from Squeaky as well. Simkey's going to get spammed down. MPL suspects that he might be back there still, and he is at the open vent corner. Finally, Alex are going to find him. Now esenthial tries to play out the same sneaky position, this time with the AK in his hands as Headtrick had the AWP in the previous. No Deagle for him. He's waiting for Choffo. SMG checks it. AK struggles to find a spray, but connects that headshot in the end. They're down to 2 players on Zero Tenacity. The Molotovs will force the man forward, but he goes down as Brute is now standing alone and stands to fall all the same. At the turn of the half, it is 7-5 for Bait.
If you wanna be my love, baby, gotta take it slow. If you wanna be my love, I'll show you what you wanna know.
Well, Bait have certainly given us a good game of the first half. Unlike their Spirit result of the 2-10 CT side, it's 5-7. The Zero Tenacity move into their CT half. Can Bait steal away the Z10 map pick? Well, it certainly might seem possible, although it will be scrappy if that's the case.
Bait have not won Nuke for 122 days, but right now it is looking quite possible. Brute Monster on the outside has already been goosed, and he's seen a lot of the T-side presence.
Head Trick first to fall in the half as the Mana draws out the opening kill for Z10 instead. MPL trying to trade it, but he's lost Alex in the meantime. His teammates right behind him. Finally, the forward man, will fall. Esenthial and Kenzizor in a very dire position as they do pick up Brute, at least for the trade. The HEs land so well on that red box, so much damage to be done, and surely no further way forward here for the Bait players.
It's an excellent response here from Zero Tenacity. They got good info towards outside, and they've completely disrupted any opportunity that Bait had of gaining deep map control, getting towards secret, pressurizing towards that garage. And for Namana, this has got to be a positive start from him. He struggled to find opening kills in that first half. He's come into the pistol and he's come away with a triple. Now, honestly, Jay, I was quite disappointed by Namana's individual form towards the end of last year. I don't know if it was maybe burnout with the amount of tournaments and officials, or maybe even pressure that we spoke about earlier of the lack of qualifications to land tournaments and winning titles, but he dropped off, and I'm hoping that 2025 he comes and he's refreshed from that level.
I want to see some more refreshing stuff in this matchup more immediately here. Both teams, again, as you mentioned, have had some scrappy moments. Losing to rounds which they shouldn't do. Those half buys, those force invests, the hero rifles, no such upgrades available for Bait in this round. They're going harsh eco to get the rifles out for the next.
What about the Glock rounds?
Don't tempt Bait,
Let's see.
Save my sanity for the evening. I beg of you, please.
Avan's going to get one. He's going to get traded. Bomb's going to go down. Oh, he got 3, actually.
Okay. There we are. All good. All's fine.
Oh.
Esenthial's only got a second kill.
Right.
It's so good.
That's
it's okay.
We don't mind that.
3 players alive means that, you know, you've maintained as much as you realistically should.
I agree. Yep.
And so Zero Tenacity will even up the board. Now Bait get to the rifles. And AKs for everybody. Still got an SMG for Choffo over on Z10. And at least those 2 kills have kept the economy low. So a chance for Bait to once again reset the opposition and try and take a definitive lead on T side as well. As I said before, CT's basically been the basis of Bait in whatever success, what little of it they've had. We stand to lose the lead. Zero Tenacity go charging forward. Bait do the exact same thing.
A bit quicker towards the outside. We saw Z10 being quite slow at the back of T-Red, crossing towards Secret with either Diag or 1-2-3. Kenzizor and a few teammates are trying to get down. It's MPO on the other side of the smokes, though, that's prioritizing the garage peak, and that's where he deals with the in-game leader of Namana.
A big frag from him, and as you said before, the impact guy as of so far for this team. One of 2 impact guys alongside Head Trick. Very sharp shooting in his rifles, and that open up. 5-on-4 that's been untraded, unscathed for the most part. MPL is going to wait outside for any more contact from the yard. The bomb's in secret, though. It seems like a downstairs play, but Bait yet to act on it.
Well, I'm really liking the discipline here, running the clock and making the CTs quite nervous. This is where you start forcing info plays, maybe a bit of a gamble stack. There's basically no util for the CTs to speak of. That slight jiggle outside is a great tell, though.
So many players spotted with it. They can rotate a 3rd player away from the B site upstairs to try and defend some of the other entryways. Meanwhile, Avan strikes on NPL, takes him down. They're going to try and pincer him, though, as he looks the wrong way at the wrong time. Head Trick given a freebie by the virtue of his teammates' footsteps at the entrance to hell. And now they're going to make their way in from heaven. The player from the ramp room peeks forward, but Brute gets Alex in another exchange. A 3-on-2 still favors the Bait side. The bomb plant will be secured. The retake, if it comes through, will have to be quick and thick about it. Doing damage from Brute from range back at the squeaky door. Esenthial drops in the rafters. Now the Heaven player starts to make his way up. Choffa making no crimes about his position, made a lot of noise. So Kenzizor with that kill. Brute peeks into both of them, and Kenzizor will trade back Head Trick's casualty. So Bait get what they want. They get their round.
It's a really good effort from Avon because he does as much as he can. He's down there in the lockers. He's jiggled up from heaven. He's seen that it's probably an outside lean towards A, so you try and get bodies over. You're being sandwiched from both sides. He's actually just had a phenomenal achievement of surpassing 800 maps played on HLTV with Zero Tenacity. He was the one that joined up as basically the last player to join the organization on the 23rd of August 2 years ago. Zero Tenacity threw everything at it, but it was Kenzie with the clutch, and for Bait, they've finally taken the lead. But what about this force buy back from Z10?
Brute's already landed in MPL, so the headshot angle's already worked for the scout. It wouldn't be the first time a broken buy has worked. Zero Tenacity or Bait. Man advantage that will go unresponded to as of right now. You still got your top fragger on the board in Head Trick. They are happy to slow it all the way down. Barely any map control for Bait, minus this one player that's pushed up at the ramp entrance. Z10 will not respond in kind.
Yeah, they start doing the outside smokes, but there's not a single lurk towards outside. So this is either going to be a ramp take or a topside XE.
Blind shots will draw emphasis over there in that position. There's 3 players total on the outside control. Kenzie's always struck on Simkey, so this divided position and the hit towards the weakened area of the map on A is now finally forced the issue from Bait. 4-on-4 established. Bomb plant will not be denied, but the blind sprays. Esenthial will return a blind kill onto Chophos, and a man advantage well and truly to the favour of Bait, and they should be able to keep it from here.
That re-smoke down from main is certainly going to cancel any last-minute prod to try and get in. And Kenzie shares a very similar relationship to when esenthial first joined the team. We go all the way back to January. He had played 1 map on HLTV for just a random mix squad, and that was it. Just had limited, well, I should say limited, literally 0 pro experience at the level. At least Kenzie has had quite a few known organizations and teams under his belt, but this is still a young 18-year-old that has played on teams that are kind of ranked around 60, 70, 80, low-end tier 2 into tier 3 to instantly, right, we want to challenge for titles. we want to challenge to be a top-end tier 2 squad like we were last year. That's a huge jump in the pedigree of a career.
Well, sure, that should be an encouraging sign for Kenzie Zor, because esenthial had far less prospects for him before he joined Bait. In fact, he had 3 tournament references on record prior to that point, and you still end up seeing a player that's fit right into this roster, improve them overall. So the fact you got the same sort of situation, except with more credits over towards Kenzie Zor, is that a positive sign?
I would say it is. It shows that it's a change of the guard of recycling the old guard.
He's on 10 kills right now. AK in his hands, esenthial only with the Galil alongside Alex. There's an AK to play with for Namana over on Zero Tenacity, recovering a few upgrade weapons, but not a definitive buy in this round. They'll try to hand out another steal. Avon, cheeky position on the boost, is not going to get fully checked by Kenzie Zor. Head Trick draws out first one against Simkey, but Avon's not done! Triple found. The Deagle will continue fighting. The Scout gets involved, and Avon drops in with a Quadra. Plenty of money gained from the SMG, and 3 AKs saved by 3 players. Z10 have done it again.
Well, it's poor composure from Bait. They need to be cancelling there. They know they're up against a weakened buy. You've got Namana, he's been the bait, isn't he? He's legitimately just jiggling down on that railing position. He's drawing them in. As soon as they know that there's a player boosted up on the cinder blocks, you've got to be thinking, this is a trap, okay? There's 2 players at ramp. Is there maybe a 3rd guy? Is there a guy at hell as well? Is it a triple ramp setup? Once they see that boosted MP9, they should be cancelling and going straight back in towards A, and they just kept trying to brute force the duels. They just kept trying to come out one by one, deal with the MP9, deal with Namana, and it just wasn't possible. Now look at what Z10 have got. They've got an AWP, they've got 3 AKs, and an 8-9 scoreline where you can reset Bait immediately.
Chance to swing back in the favour of Zero Tenacity. AK's in play again for the T-side buy-up, but not across everybody. NPL sacrificing his weapon. Need the team with a Tech 9 instead. It's esenthial caught right through the smoke. Chofo, a hell of a kill to open. Kenzie Zor was hoping that he could spot a player that also fired back from the outer yard, but no such vision is granted.
That's ultimately just very unlucky. You're being HE'd and purely spammed through the ramp smoke, and in such a pivotal round, it's an opening loss for Bait. And Chofo jiggling, as soon as he gets contact, that when he can drop the incendiary, wait for a rotation from Simki too.
Block him away. Smoke will go deeper instead from Bait to block off the Hell entrance. Kenzizor continues his walk outside. Head trick takes some damage, but finally gets smoked off. Kenzizor can strike. Avan is picked up. Kenzizor is low HP in this exchange. No one of the remaining players from Z10 are tagged up. Namana capitalizes upon that HP advantage, finally finding the man advantage once again for Z10. They have ramp control on Bait, but a little over 45 seconds to act to the site here.
It probably has to be a top site lean with MPL trying to somehow get towards Heaven. They need to try and push Namana off of this sight line. They need him to reposition.
Simki's got to go down to the back of the site meanwhile. 30 seconds for them to make a move. 2 players of the defensive per bomb site. One lower at B, one upper at A. Namana's now been taken aback. So it's just this solo player centralized, hearing footsteps, engaged upon distracted head trick in MPL. Quick kills from their entry points. And Chofo is suddenly very, very lonely down on the B-bomb site. No friends, no enemies, no nothing.
For you and IJ, we recorded a Tier 2 show awards at the end of last year, and I awarded Bait as the second best team of the year and NPL for best player of the year. And I think just in the overall rifle rounds that we've seen from the first half and the second half, we're understanding why he's hyped up as much as he is. To be an in-game leader and to be fragging to the level, that is a 3v4, low time on the clock. He gets the first kill towards Namana, who's in a very uncomfortable position from MPL's point of view. You've got to clear out lockers. You've got to be looking up at the top of the ladder towards Heaven. You've got to be trying to scale to see what's out there at CT spawn. And he wins that fight that just crumbles the A-bomb site. Even gets a secondary kill towards the vent rotation. That round is only won because of the ramp lurk of MPL getting up to Heaven.
Yeah, head trick might have more frags, but I think that MPL beats him out on impact tenfold. The number of rounds you can associate to the captain. Wonderful, wonderful scenes from him individually, and Bait will once again start to pull ahead. But will they maintain pulling ahead? Zero Tenacity might not have the best buy, but it's still 4 rifles and an AK held in by Chofo. This could be that breaking point to map point, though, if Bait can secure it here and now. 2 rounds separate. 2 rounds to make up. Well, the utility game is standard. The CT's putting those smokes up at the main entry points over on the A-bomb site. Outside smokes again from Bait. You can put 2 more down if they want to go back outside. A secondary smoke on its squeaky door to stop them on Z10's part of things. Avan happy to blind spray as it's Brute, but nothing is found. Bait are not pushing into those angles.
Avan could flash deep door to allow Simki to get quite aggressive from the front side of Heart. And that is what's been done. Unfortunately, it's just a prod. And without a kill managing to happen, Simki has to back off and reposition.
Another smoke comes in. The outside ones are thrown by the Bait side. Sprays through from Namana, well poised and placed against NPL, caught out in the open, and esenthial and Kenzizor also take damage elsewhere. Bait have once again been pushed onto the back foot. They recovered well in the previous round, and there's no one directly on this A bomb site. They're so focused on the other entry points. The bomb can make its way in and looks to get planted, but the retake is going to look so good for Z10 in the meantime. Namana's ready to go. He's smoked off.
Oh, M4 just capitalizes on the kill, and now they come in.
Esenthial can't last forever, though, and Alex caught in amongst that bomb plant position means that he was completely defenseless, and Bait could not hold on forever. Very quick retake from Z10 before the plant even came down, in fact, and they have closed the gap again.
And I like for Z10 that they've made a gamble, an incorrect gamble, but they've been able to adjust at the right moment. So once they start double rotating the A-site players, you've got 2 players down in the vent, you've got Namana who's working outside, you've got a couple of players towards ramp. With no one on A, you need to be ready to act as soon as the A-bomb site's been taken. And notice how Namana doesn't respect that smoke from main at all, does he? As soon as it's about to bloom, he peeks beforehand. He knows that I've got a split second to try and work a pick. And as soon as he gets that kill towards Tetris, they just all start flying in. They're coming up from vent, they're coming from main, they're coming from heaven. There's just no chance that Bait's going to be able to hold off in the post.
Calling a second tactical timeout because they need something more here on the Bait side.
I mean, this is a tough call to make. In such a late game moment, at round 20 to be force buying when you're not double eco, this is a risk. This might be able to push yourself closer towards map point or push Zero Tenacity to get closer to it.
At least they lead by a round, so they have the buffer room if Z10 do pick up this one. Alex starts things off well. Chofo is first to fall. Man down. AK doing its work, but can it do any more? And Amana on the outside is hunting for a secondary frag. AK continues to make a ton of noise. Will Alex pass that off to a teammate? He is low HP. MPL been tagged in the meantime. HG sent his direction. He's trying to play around the red box against the Mana. It's all timing and headshot accuracy of the Tech 9 5-on-3 now for Bates.
No, it's falling apart because Namana doesn't even know how much more there is towards outside. He doesn't know if it's been compromised with more players or it was just a single lurk.
Rifle now picked up for MPL to use against Avon. The AK advantage still sits with the CT side. Two of them are here. Bait, a little bit more stopping power, a few more players to work with. Alex has fallen, however. Simkey tries to bring that man advantage back. MPL continues to work outside. Simkey's forced away from heaven. Esenthial's back to way to consider some sort of wraparound. Avon's finally challenged MPL, finally taking him. Bit of a deeper smoke there. He might peek ahead of that. Blind fire onto Hedrick's going to do some damage. Flashes in for Simkey, gets him into the bomb site. Hedrick, decent shot from range, but Avon takes both him and Esenthial out. And we are even on the board. Zero Tenacity go 10 apiece.
And right there, that's a moment that describes Avon's experience as a player. He is easily the most experienced player in the Tier 2 atmosphere from both of these squads. He's got nearly 1,400 maps played across his career on HLTV, and he is just so disciplined on dealing with the lurk outside. So many players would be tunnel visioned on looking to fight in on the bomb site towards A, but he slows the round down, he waits, and as soon as he gets that kill against the outside player of MPL, it sets up the round for success for Z10.
And Bates, he said the risk of allowing Zero Tenacity to usurp them, gain control of this map up. Or maybe might throw another opportunity in with the upgrade pistols, though MPL's caught brute as he was distracted up on that silo player. Very cheeky play there from Bay. I'm not even sure if it was intentional. Either way, they've started Namana trading. MPL continuing to fire away. This guy just cannot be stopped. You put a weapon in his hands and he's hungry for the kills and he gets them almost every single time.
In from main and towards A. They're going to go in quickly.
Smokes on from Squeaky. Main compromise. Secret seems to be an angle of attack from Avon. He's leaning up right now. Will he catch the players? Will Chofo see them? Head trick has just been seen and he's been removed from play. The players at Garage will try catch him and Avon's there to bail out. And Kenzie Zor to drop. The esenthial bomb on his back. A site is relatively opened up. Only that player in heaven and the rafters who is considering the prospect of a hell and ramp entrance play. The esenthial should be able to secure the plant with this. Avon's on the other side of that main entrance. So plant, cash injection, go for the buy from there.
He might want to try and tap it to draw a fight, though, because the CT economy is quite limited as it is anyway. He's got to think, what's my best chance of doing as much damage in the round as possible? I think sticking it is going to be a mistake.
Yeah, Simkey takes him. No fights forced, no attempts gained by the Tech 9 player. And Bait have lost the lead once again. Z10. 2 rounds to get the victory. The third and final tactical has been called by the Ukrainian squad in the meantime.
And that was a good recovery from Z10 after losing 2 quick picks against MPL outside. I've actually seen quite consistently on Nuke, on the CT side, that Z10 like that little run boost to get the AWP on top of credit. Now, I don't mind it at all. I've seen it in a few games versus 500. But to do it against an eco, I think is a fundamental mistake. This would be the round to go and do it in. You go up and a buy-up, they haven't seen it, you try and catch them off guard. You don't do it against pistols of Tech 9s and Deagles, and that was an uncomfortable one. I mean, even Chofo, he's not really in a position to fight against those Garage players, is he? Yeah, he might have caught the credit player off of Hedrick, but it was only Avon's reassurance of him getting outside that helps with that crossfire. 11 to 10, overtime could be calling. It is neck and neck right now between the two.
But that stalemate could get broken by Zero Tenacity in a confident round right here. They've got cash to fall back on as well. So Bait have got the more difficult victory ahead of them. MPL has done so well to generate the impact. Hedrick has been his main backup impact man. AKs will fire away first. Headtrick with the opening kill. Damage done towards Avan. Namana's going to get the trade. NPL can trade him. Advantage taken by Bait. HP over Avan as well. Looking up to heaven. They've seen that player from entryway will fall away. Simki even back down at hell. They anticipate this.
He needs a multi. He needs to step up individually because Avan's clearing out lobby. Simki gets one. NPL gets the trade pretty easily.
Mackenzie's all caught looking the wrong way. His casualty. Leaving again a lot of the impact of MPL, the captain. Now watching for that heaven push from Brute. The AWP could get caught off guard. Avan's low HP at this moment. He's got the bomb in his hands. Oh, Brute, an all-important frag that brings back a chance, a 2v2.
Oh, what about Avan? Is he being watched? Hetrick's looking the other way.
All timing at this moment. Positions being checked on. Hetrick is watching for that Helocker's position. Alex needs to provide support in some capacity. And smokes down to cover off Avan's angle. The bomb trying to get recovered here. Will the AWP look to strike? Headtrick has grabbed with the Molotov support. And the big old wrap comes in from Avan. Was he heard there by Alex? He may well have been. They're going to account for it. Plant safe as Alex looks for this next kill in the round. Round the corner, he looks to go and challenge Avan to success. Brute now, his AWP on retake. Most certainly not the ideal weapon for this. Smoked off position, can't quick scope in time. And Bait hold on to a lifeline.
And that whole round just comes down to pure patience in slowing the round down. You've got a 2v2 where they're all trying to mind game one another, aren't they? They know that the AWP was somewhere around secret, and they know that Avan was towards the hell entrance. Okay, where have they all gone now? Where are they all repositioning to? Avan's probably made the right call there to try and have the big wrap, get into hut, but it's the awareness and perhaps even the anticipation from Alex to be ready for that duel. And as soon as they get separated, as soon as Avan loses the fight, there's basically no chance for Brute Monster. You've got Zero Tenacity calling another tactical, but there's struggles to get a good buy together. Yeah, you might get the AWP out for Brute Monster, and you might have M4s for both Namana and Chofo, but what about Avan and Simki? This is a tough round to work.
Well, they've worked worse.
Just quickly as well, Mac 10 in the hands of Kenzie Saw, and no head armor for anyone on Z10.
Get up close and personal. One-shot headshot potential's right there. Alex involved the first contacts outside of the hut. No one seen there from Z10, not opting for the aggressive challenges. But they do have their defensive locked in. Bait are going to have to break it. They've done well to do so at certain points, but always that concern, always that notion that we have lost a lot more of these awkward buy rounds than before, and it's not the most awkward from Z10. Slow to the uptake. Very little map control. And the second wave utility on the way, and outside seems to be at least a prod from MPL.
Yeah, the lowest rated player for Z10 on Nuke in the last 3 months is Avan, and he's 19 and 11. Can he be a difference maker in this kind of round, being a rotating player down to the lower bomb site? Brute Monster with the AWPs had some good moments. Namana needs to set an example. You've got MPL as a lurk towards outside, but a ramp take for the rest.
Chofo's incendiary will block the entrance towards ramp, reveal himself with that jump up though. Be aware he's on the railings at this moment. Flashbang sent Brutes there with the kill. Chofo responds towards his trade. Alex down. Esenthial credited with the most recent kill for Bait. They're trying to hunt down this player. What a dink that is. It's not a massive amount of damage done towards Headtrick though. Esenthial starts leaning forward. There's 3 CTs here. Molly into that dark entrance. Chofo's going to be burning for a headshot scene. Struggle to take for Esenthial. And Avan can line up both those players. They bunched up and get knocked down. NPL 13 seconds to make the clutch of ages happen, and he can't do it. Running right into the double doors with his back turned towards Simki. It is map point for Zero Tenacity.
And it's an incredible read, isn't it? You've got the info that it's heavy ramp because of the crossfire out there on the railing and towards hell, but that is a massive stack at lower. I mean, 3 players with low time left on the clock. That could have been a ramp cancel. That could have been the T's taking ramp and going back into A. It's the right call in such a pivotal round of the game.
One round to separate, one round to win. Are we on for overtime? Are we going to end it here? Zero Tenacity certainly would love to end it here. Bait have fought a little bit too hard to get to this point. Another broken investment. Hasn't stopped them before. And Z10 stopped them this time.
No one actually directly on lower, so no one in secret. The only player that can drop quickly is going to be Chofo from ramp or Avon to drop from vent.
Headtrick's been tagged initially. Not the best of players to lose HP on for the bait side again. Second top of the board. The Deagle has been deadly in the hands of the bait squad. It's slow downstairs. B site is the contest. Alex, a shot on Simki, a rifle to try and get picked up, a run right into Avon. Now they have control of the B site. Didn't get that secondary rifle, so it's just these two left in play. Esenthial caught off guard and tagged up a little bit as a result. The AK of MPL, a lot more pressure towards him now.
Smoke off those double doors, make it very difficult out from observation.
Kenzie's all so close as well. Tech9, not sure which doorway they're going to approach from. Might come in from both at the same time. Teammates better be watching it. AK to engage. Brute caught off. Tech9 with the kill. Advantage taken by Bait. He peeks into the right-hand doorway, but Avon deals with him. And Esenthial has got a trade back with that Galil. Namana's blind, but he gets his frag out from the window. MPL can strike, and Esenthial will get the last. Bait have pushed us all the way to overtime.
Oh, here we go, Jay. In a round where, if we're looking at the weaponry, it seems unlikely that they're going to be able to convert the post plant. Good util, players in the right position, but Z10 take it.
Wonderful, wonderful stuff on display. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, and both teams most certainly have been tough.
What an opportunity this is to steal the map for Bait as well.
Yeah.
To go 1-0 up in the series, going into Mirage, a weakened one of the opposition. You've got to strive at this chance that you've now in the running to potentially 2-0 the series.
And what an unlikely map to steal at that. Nuke haven't won in, what was it, 120-something days, Dwight?
Yep, last time was against 3D Max on the 28th of September last year.
Jeez. Losing streak and a half. And Mirage will be coming up next as well for Bait, so if they take this, they stand to gain so much more than just the map win. Look at this. Look at how close Simki is to Headtrick. A single pixel of that gun barrel may give him exactly what he needs here. Molotov in towards Alex to force forward. The AWPer still not spotted yet. Simki on the corner. Checks him. Headtrick goes falling. He doubles up towards Alex as well. Esenthial's got to trade it, and he's successful in that regard. It's a 3-on-3.
Yeah, it's getting a bit chaotic towards lobby now, isn't it? You're getting pressure points from both squads. Now, the outside is still being quite active from both Kenzie and MPL. There's a player down at Secret of Namana, and the Heaven player's been seen on the jiggle.
Taps to the AKs. The Mana's trying to provide crossfire support, and he finds the angle on Kensizor. Chofo takes down NPL and all. Esenthial now a 1-on-3 for him to win. Unlikely steals have been there, but clutches less so, and the AK looks the wrong way at the wrong time. Aaron catching him with particular ease. Z10 take the lead.
Dwegg's Law, isn't that right? Whoever cannot close when it comes to regulation always wins the first round of overtime. That's a positive step forward for Zero Tenacity. They would have been disappointed at themselves to not be able to take it 13-11 and to lose the opening pick so early on. I mean, Headtrick got the door pick within the first 15 seconds. Without Simki's reaction in lobby, I don't think that round can get won there.
Hey, look, at least Zero Tenacity didn't have like 12 map points, okay?
That's true. That is true.
Plenty of cash for Bait, of course, to reinvest. Their money woes are no more. But how does that change the complexion of the matchup? We've seen how many times those eco pistol steals have worked out towards their respective sides. The Deagles, the broken SMG buys. 6 shots coming out from MPL and Avon. There's consistent rifling. It's all down to the rifles here for Bait. They are set in towards that ramp entrance where it looks like Chofo is all alone for the time being. He's pinned himself in a corner and done well with that first kill, but only that first kill. Kenzizor with the trade. Now Brute to hold down the Hell entrance. Good AWP shot. Shoulder peeking out. Tanks a lot of damage, but they've got the man advantage. Not for long, though. Alex has found a trade.
And watch out for the late lurk on the top side. MPL was here to try and cut CTs. Unfortunately, Simke's actually watching out for him, so man advantage goes back the way of the CTs.
The HP over on the bait side, 182 between the two players. Brute on 17. Alex has taken Simke in the meantime. He was a little bit more ahead of that 2v2 scenario. Now both the CT players inbound from ramp. Hedrick's got a peek, got to get a kill at least, but no. Tons of damage done. Alex has got to finish the job, but Brute is watching him and will take the shot and the kill. Z10, another good retake, 14 on the board.
That's good composure from Zero Tenacity. That's a high-pressured round, an uncomfortable one, especially with the AWP on retake, but a perfect incendiary goes towards the back of default, and it forces a fight. It means that you can draw the T's out in the open. 14-12. Bait, I think they can look at back-to-back rounds and say, we fumbled with the 5v4, we've now fumbled with the 2v2 post-plant. We need to take these opportunities. We need to take these chances, because if we're not converting those kind of rounds, we're going to give a 3-0 scoreline in overtime to Zero Tenacity, and that's a death wish on Nuke.
It may well still be the reality here. One round left in the half. Bait trail by 2. It's slow again on their defaults, trying to play a more careful style. Trying to vary up how these rounds are going down. Brute's been smoked to the doubles. Diagonals there. No vision by the HEs. A minute tick by, a minute more to go.
Well, it's good info for the AWP, because if it was a heavy outside play, you'd probably see at least 1 or 2 bodies. There is 3 towards upper, and this is going to be an upper take.
Ready for it with 3 players, though. Avon going to tuck himself away to play anti-flash. Look back towards the hut. Entrance will burn significantly, but take 2 players down with him. Kenzie Zorn and esenthial have got to bow down, and the veteran of Zero Tenacity, 26 kills deep for him, and he might not be done on 30 points of Elvis tradable, and Brute towards outside has caught MPL on the lurk. Hedrick and Alex, 2v5, bomb on their backs, but no further breathing room. Namana and Simke will close it out. 15-12, they're on map point again.
Avon has been the unsung hero across this Nuke. He plays very difficult roles where you're hard lurking on T side and you're basically the A site anchor to stop the top site hits. You're not in active positions. You're not constantly working fights, but the reassurance of his impact in the late round and with awful weapons. Notice how many times we've seen Avon using a Galil, seen him on a FAMAS, seen him on an MP9 where the bigger weapons are in the hands of Brute Monster and Namana. Avon has been basically a main reason to why Zero Tenacity are in this position that they are.
His veteran experience paying off in troves, it seems, and his mechanical prowess on true display. Even with guys like Brute doing work on the AWP, is back out as well for round 4 of the overtime. A bit more proactive in these defaults. Outside control looking to be established by the T-side line. On the red box, they were looking to press, but they're actually going to start to fall back here. Put further utility down. The Molotovs drive them out the outside positions, but they're so centralized to the bomb site.
Yeah, this is getting very slow. Maybe nerves are starting to kick into closing out the series, or closing out map 1 at least. Very passive. Esenthial seeing nothing, and a lot of utils being used towards outside, but still no vision for MPL to work with.
Flashes. Outside sent. MPL spraying blind of that M4. Teammate of Alex ready to receive them. 3 players, potentially just the 1 kill comes in. Damage done to Brute. Will tag him down to 34. Truffo takes some of that as well. And now the second AWP is on the way towards the downstairs area, towards the secret challenge. But a flash is inside a main, indicate it might still be an upper play.
You've got Simke still lurking towards ramp. They're all trying to catch a timing. Time is low. This bomb should commit upper.
25 on the clock. Esenthial AUG towards outside. Did he spot the player at garage? He might have done. And might lull him into a false sense of security because Nemana is pressing. Esenthial looking the wrong way at the wrong time. And Nemana has struck with two, but NPL struck with two more. Three, in fact. Simki's got him. Head trick. Knows the bomb's been lost. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. Simki's going to prioritize the plant. No, he's going for the kill. Head trick. He's called his bluff. And he saved the game for Bait alongside NPL. Another massive multi-frag sequence from the captain. Bait just can't seem to give in.
I actually am lost for words there. That is the sickest lurk that you are going to see from any T-side player. I want to say all map. For Nemana on that late on the time to get the kill Heaven, the kill Mustang, man, he's opened up the bomb site. He's done everything to get the players into main. And then NPL just has a life hold out there from Tetris, drops the bomb, stalls the time. And it's probably the right call for Brute Monster to not just stick the plant. He's expecting a fight to come out quickly. He's expecting the CT to try and deny. Man alive. Z10, it looked done. That round looked completely finished.
It should have been. Nemana had the flank. Bait were crumbling to pieces. Once again, MPL, the savior of his side. The job's not done, though. That's 1 out of 3 required. And 3 in a row that they need. They cannot afford to falter. They were very close to conceding game 1. They're clinging on for dear life. MPL on the outside has seen a player in Nemana. The smokes will re-solidify. We will not see any more.
I like that the T's didn't spam back there, because that's a lack of info now for the CTs.
Only barely a lack of info at that. Gun barrel scene though, Alex knows what's going on. Smoke the entry. HE. Not a lot of damage done to Zero Tenacity there.
They still don't know whether it's a single lurk towards downstairs or there's more players here. So there's options for Z10. They can go back up secret and try and pincer and pressure towards outside, or they can continue down in the lower corridors and put more of an emphasis on trying to drop Alex.
Work on main again. Simki finds MPL, draws him out into the open, he gets killed off. Hungry for a pick. The hunger gets the better of him. Advantage for Zero Tenacity, still walking slowly to their setup. Esenthial may have to defend against it all, but he can only defend against one of 2 potential angles of attack here.
Oh, this looks really good. Nemana's going to set up his teammate of Simki to get into Heaven.
The timing's everything. Simki goes down. Esenthial might not be aware of the hell wrap. Coming in from the stairs. Oh, Alex catches Choffer looking the wrong way. That's the bomb. If he can get Brute as well, no. The Orpa can strike back. A 3-on-3. Another moment where he could have turned, but Nemana has turned it right back. Esenthial is down. The advantage has once again locked in for Zero Tenacity. Avin protects him. Kenzie's Zor has dropped. Head tricks Orb. Now Molotov to reveal his position. He's got no way into the bomb site. Surely no way at this clutch. He finds Nemana in the back of the site. But there is so much more to do. There is so many more to find. Avin, Incendiary, off against, will drive him away towards the double doors. He'll know that he's fallen back, but the AWP is still set. The bait does not come through to success. And it's 16-13 at large. Zero Tenacity in overtime will take their map pick. They'll be the victors of Nuke.
And they deserve that, Jay. They worked incredibly hard to be able to get that over the line. And I guess for Zero Tenacity, when you were the team that could have closed in regulation, you should be the team that closes in OT.
Certainly so. I mean, in the ultimate thriller, he was bottom fragger of that last map across anybody in the server. 13-24 was his final numbers. And again, a lot of the emphasis played towards those 2 key impact guys, MPL and Hedrick. And I think that when you consider the fact that, first of all, Avin and Brute out-fragged them, and second of all, I think the Zero Tenacity generally had the much better team cohesion behind those stars. I don't know whether or not Bait have a lot of confidence coming into coming out of this series. I think they can still do enough to win this second map because of the nature of how it is so hit and miss for Zero Tenacity. But in terms of the series, I'm still thinking that the best case scenario they can do is just take the single map and then lose the third on Anubis.
And it does make me ponder the idea on who actually is the best Ukrainian team now in 2025. Is it Passion UA or is it Bait? I would say for basically the entirety of last year, Bait were the better team. They had more accolades, they had more LAN qualifications, but now with what Passion UA were able to do at the major, yeah, I know Fear's obviously gone over to Fnatic now and they've had to bring in Topper and Kavem. this could actually be Bait finally being toppled over and looking at Passion UA consistently and saying, actually, we're the #1 in the local scene.
Well, look, if you want to go from a more scientific perspective and look at rankings on VRS, Passion UA are number 39, Bait are number 43. And I believe it's a similar story as well on the not the Valve rankings, the HLTV rankings as well. So in terms of numbers perspectives and achievements, then yeah, actually that would speak towards that being true. And I have to agree, honestly, Passion UA have got some really sick elements. I think the one concern would be the fact that they have made changes that have lost out some players here and there. Yeah. So they've had to readjust against that. So there might be one concern in terms of whether or not they're going to maintain that position. But right now, I have to agree, yeah, it does feel like Passion UA are the more stronger Ukrainian side.
And this is just as well for Bait, where they have to look on and capitalize the first few tournaments, knowing that ECL's been a rough circuit for them for the last few seasons, knowing that you dropped Captain Kirker, an experienced player, someone that was a part of the Bait organization for over 3 years, played in many LAN RMRs to try and push Bait into the major. And now you've gone in with a young player. You've now got 2 18-year-olds on the team. You've got a 19-year-old in-game leader of MPL. So the first few tournaments of being able to work the ranking, to help the qualifications, are going to be very critical for them because, let's be realistic, losing out to Spirit Academy, beating out Arc Red, if you lose to Zero Tenacity and go down 1 and 2 in the group, it's going to be really difficult to push yourself a good seed moving into the next stage.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of tough matches, I think, coming up over the course of this group stage for Bait as well. You mentioned Iberian Soul and where they could stand, and after that they've got Rush B as well, and that's a CIS derby. We know how CIS derbies can go. So for Bait, it's a very important match to try and at least look decent in, although I'm still not convinced that they're going to win it overall. They are on the T-side start of the second map, their pick of Mirage. Choffo is the first contact on the defensive line. Back at CT stairs, opting not to stick around for any more casualties. We'll just get the bomb site, should get the bomb down. It'll be a 5v5 retake.
A deep flash. T's going aggressive to fight towards CT spawn.
Another one for Alex if he wants to throw it out. Seems like he's going to do so. Esenthial charges forward, headshot. Wonderful on the drive-by from range as well with a double. A triple not quite secure, but MPL's there. Part of a 3-man firing squad. They're bear down upon that market entrance. Simki's got no way to break in, and Namana's got nothing more that he can do but take occasional trades here. Simki's gone down off screen, and Esenthial will pick up Namana with the final casualty. Triple for Esenthial, and a big way to start things off in the pistol round.
We only saw a single map being won by the Bait organization at the Shanghai RMR, and the one map that did get won was against Astralis. It was picked in the best of 3 series. They had a 5-7 T-side half, came into the second half and closed it in reg. And that was a very good T-side performance against Arc Red only the other day in their last ECL game, going up 9-3 at the turn. Zero Tenacity forced by him back. We saw forced by success in the first map. Let's see if it continues here on Mirage.
Force Spiral return from Z10. Well, a lot less to lose now being a map up in the series. No, they can still gain so much with the way that the Force Spies have worked out so far today. Extremely significant for Zero Tenacity. But no contact being allowed. Heavy-handed over on this A bomb site. Only Simki there towards B. A jump facing for information. Bait are not prodding at either of those 2 angles.
Well, it's a good gamble right now for Z10. You've got Simki as the jump spotter with no help at all. You've got at least Namana who can spot from Con. A slight info play from Choffo to get himself aggressively out to ramp. Namana might need 1, maybe even 2 kills here from Con.
MPL will spam down with the MAC-10 first. Just right through the smoke. We're not getting much out of it. HE's on towards Kentizor. Tagged to 31 points of health, so already Bait are going to start to suffer. Avon's ready for more as well, but Esenthial's a little bit quicker to the mark. MPL to the MAC-10 right towards Brute and all. Next player to fall is Choffo. Player past the smoke and Amanda does get a range kill on an SMG. Esenthial's there with the AK to outrange him, and Simki's in a 1-on-4.
And what you can expect from Bait is to have some really good fundamentals on the T side of Mirage. The pacing, the overall utility usage with some of the flash assists, where they can pressure certain areas of the map and make it uncomfortable for some of the over-rotations. It'd be intriguing to find out what the map pool actually looks like for Bait coming into 2025, because when I look at the back end of last year, they played and picked a lot of Anubis, Mirage, and Ancient. That sort of felt like the tasty trio of success. But now with a map pool change, at what point does maybe Train start getting introduced? At what point does maybe Inferno start being brought in? This is always going to be watching eyes on these tier 2 squads to say, okay, what adjustments in the pool have been made from the back end of November of December tournaments to now the Christmas break, and now you start moving into the year.
We know that Bait have obviously been train ban adverse. Maybe not that map specifically, but things might shake up in the very near future, especially if things continue to go awry for the Bait camp. Z10 should have no success in this round here, although I say that, and they've actually managed to get a couple of decent dinks from beyond these smokes and beyond smoke kills. Been in Amana's strong suit today. Esenthial tagged low, Avan and Simki low themselves. Simki's in fact going to burn to his death. Mana and Avan picked up as well, and Chofo will also drop to the Mac 10, so plenty of cash gained by MPL. It seems like all the main weapons will stay in for the rest of Bait. MPL could even take the Mac 10 as a bonus weapon into the first true rifle buy for Zero Tenacity.
And something that went a little bit under the radar for Bait as well with the roster change of bringing Kenzizor in is that a couple of months prior to that, they brought in a new analyst to the team. So you kind of get the expectation that a lot of prep's going to be done for these tier 2 squads to kind of get them out of tier 2. That's going to be the goal and the expectation for a lot of squads petering at the top to say, what can we do to push our ranking and to push those qualifications over the line?
Well, guns up. Push some rounds back over the line for Z10 here on this map. Still scoreless in the early portions of it. Might see that begin to change with a decent kill or two, but they are tentative about their positions. 3 players, emphasis towards mid on the CT defensive. Brute's going to catch a kill right through that smoke. Kenzizor's down.
A great start from Brute Monster. MPL has not given up the ghost deep into the apartments. Won't be able to do much with that Mac 10 unless there's basically a short take with him so he can split onto B. Simki has got Avan aggressively towards short and a quick rotator from Namana if need be from window.
Trying to force Avan back. It's Namana instead with the kill out from the sniper's nest. Alex also found by Simki. MPL can finally strike back with a kill or two, but only the 2. Namana trades him. Esenthial's on 9 points of health, so it seems like Z10 are going to strike back here in this round. Bomb trying to cross, and maybe Esenthial might sneak his way onto a plant position, but surely even that should get shut down with how low his health is, with how close Namana is. Chofo hasn't seen him, and the headshot will not get landed immediately. He needed to be landed immediately there. The pistol will go the way of Bait, the conversions will go the way of Bait, but the rifle will go the way of Z10.
And good stuff from Namana, being in an active position of window room, rotating out to B, and just being important in the round to putting up numbers and making sure that Bait can't get the bomb down. Now, we had a discussion out there on Nuke about match sharpness and officials being played. While Mirage is a weakened map for Z10, this is now the second highest played map in the pool in the last 3 months. You've got Nuke up at 15 maps played. You'll have Mirage now at 13, Anubis at 12, and then you get the drop-off when it goes to Dust 2 and Inferno and Train and then Ancient as their Instaban. So even though we know that the win rate isn't particularly high, surely that's still a positive note that Z10 have got a lot of officials under their belt.
Yeah, that's true. Especially 4 times played this month alone. Give them workability in terms of the accuracy of the game plan. The execution of said game plan as well. Bait will continue to struggle if that is true. Spot by Kenzizor, seen one player on shore, but Avan knows that he's out there in that corner as well. He's more engaged towards the back. The stack, the top mid angle, Kenzizor's going to need some utility support or teammate support to try and get him out of this angle. Avan's been seen again. There's 2 players as well down low. Brute's going to take a Esenthial. Avan will get Kenzizor and look for his teammate and all, but they'll be able to escape now. Try and charge up towards this apartment's entrance. MPL burning in that Molotov. He's going to stick at the other side of it and find Simki on the peek out to the center of the site. 3-on-3 gain, still a player on shore. Bomb yet to commit towards site, but it is on the way. Avan needing this kill next up, finally lands it. Alex takes a trade and looks for more. He knows there's a second player on the way in from Marky. He's going to try and block him off there with the smoke, but the window is opened up and the bomb crosses successfully.
And Namana's in a strong position to try and work around the short smoke.
Sprays awkward. Namana and Chofo quickly come up against Alex and Headtrick. We get very little damage on either of the two. Z10, another successful retake and a second to their board.
I'm actually liking the positive nature that Brute Monster's bringing with the AWP on the CT side. He's typically a passive AWPer, doesn't like to engage in too many aggressive duels. We see in the second gun round here on Mirage, he is just out in mid. He's at the bottom of con, he's working with Aven, and while he might only get one and get traded instantly, it's the man advantage that works off of that. Seems as if Zero Tenacity have intent on challenging towards mid and not giving freedom towards bait in the defaults. Good work from Simki to try and do as much damage to the apartments player as possible. Aven gets away with one. Nemana just adding numbers to the tally right now. 2 rounds in a row back to back are going to start crippling the economy, and we're seeing it from the buy up here from bait.
And the set piece ready to go towards the A site. Mate going back to the basics. Done this a couple times over the course of the day. The pistol round obviously was the first one to open up. Another rifle round came in as well. One's going to come in from Kenzie. A lot of damage done towards him though. The Molotov that's put out there sees the player at ninja spot but cannot land the kill. The HP's a little bit too much. Esenthial can take the mana back, but Chofo's still here, fragging with a double. Back up as Simki's there behind him. As Esenthial's picked up, MPL will also not last long. Aven's the one to close, and Z10 can equalise.
They're starting to cook now, aren't they? And they're starting to get a good feeling on the CT side. And anytime you can start drawing confidence with mass players being alive and stabilizing economy, you are going to have a field day in this first half, or at least this first segment of the half. We've now got the NWP still in the hands of Brute Monster. You've got AKs for Simki, Nemana, and Aven, and then Money Floater around the 3k marker up against a Light and Deco. Now, realistically, you shouldn't be losing any more than 1 or 2 players maxing around like this.
Deagle's only for bait. MPL's been tagged low, which is obviously a discouraging sign for him because he was the guy that was doing the most Deagle work on map 1. So many occasions in that outer yard angle where players fell to him, and he's top fragger once again for bait in this map all the same. Matching Nemana's numbers, backed up by esenthial in his current set of 7. MPL will still get away with the kill on Chofo, so credit. The trades are good. Alex responds back, and Kenzizor follows up on it. So now it's not just MPL's deadly deagle. There's at least 2 in play, and 2 more kills to gain.
And the aim punch is going to hurt. Hetrick's the only one with armor, but this is extremely winnable. Plenty of time on the clock at a 4v2.
Almost made it 1, but Simki strikes back to make it 2-on-2 instead. The AWPer is ready for Kenzizor. Ready for esenthial, the same. Starts to second guess himself, though. This might come down to timing. AK's peeked up, and Kenzizor wins that fight. Now it's all on Brute, the AWP, to walk his way forward. They've got to get into the sniper's nest to grab that bomb. And they're going to pick it up and go right back into the B site, at least for esenthial. Kenzizor might cut the rotation, and Brute runs right into him. Wonderfully played for him on the triple. Looking for an impactful round from this individual, the newest addition to the bait side, and he's just found one right there.
And that's just a frustrating round because it doesn't look as if they're kind of trolling it at all, like they're just going too aggressive for duels. They put up a good HE into the apartments. MPL just somehow hit a blinder. As soon as he got first contact from top mid, he just domes in towards con, and then within, what, a handful of seconds, it just starts collapsing and it becomes a 4v2 quickly. Bait should not have had much chance of making that threatening, and Z10 won't be happy with themselves.
No, not at all. Advantage T side, Nemana picked up by MPL quick. 10 frags now on the board for the captain. Chofo, SMG at the ready, close range for more players of bait to come out from ramp. They were prodding it at a flashbang there and all. Headtrick's waiting for more though. Could be a point blank shot from the SMG, and yeah, head ripped right off from his shoulders.
And we just see 2 duels aggressively being taken here from Z10. They're getting desperate. Even out towards ramp, they try again. And they keep prodding towards that area to see if they can find a reassurance kill, but it's just not coming at all. And unfortunately, with how much expense is coming into this round, the pressure is now starting to go on the backs of Z10.
Simki gets away with a couple of kills, actually, with the HE and the M4. AWP ready for him to cross back into the site. The AK of Kenzizor going to put a smoke down, and that cuts off potential for that AWP to make a difference in the round. Well read there by the bait side. plant now needs to be secured. Got a little bit of time, but it would be preferential to get it down soon. MPL's on site. Ooh, just seen there by Simki, who takes him back. A 2v2. 3 kills to his name, 17 HP. Surely he can't get much more done. And as Brute falls, that should be all she wrote in round number 7. Beautiful stuff there from the bait camp. Took their patience. Z10 almost bounced back, but didn't quite go all the way.
And Simki, in that moment, just does so well for what is an unwinnable round. He's just got no help at all. And it does make you ponder if he just had an extra teammate on the bomb site, if he just had someone that he could maybe trade or set up for a refrag, that there could have been more being warranted. And Bait got themselves into a little bit of trouble with the 3 rounds that got gained by Z10, but now you're crippling at the economy line. It's going to be basically a full USP eco. Shouldn't really be any investment with how light the loss bonus is. Go up 6-3, give yourself a bit of a comfortable lead, and then start feeling as if you could probably go 7-8 T rounds and get MPL consistently in sort of this first range engage. I mean, we are seeing quite often now that he is just winning the 5v4 for Bait.
Continuing to be the impactful star of the moment. As he was on map 1, he is on map 2. The Mana down first, the pistols stacked, suicide diving their way through towards the ramp position, trying to get this off with a drop. Headtrick does well with the AK support of esenthial to maintain his life. About a best as effort as you can take there with only the basic ecos. But it does not work to any success. 1v5 for Simki, and he will not be doing anything more in this round.
Bait will be very happy with not losing players, not losing that all sought after strong economy. Zero Tenacity won't even have money to get the AWP up for Brute Monster in the next round, so it should be 5 M4s for everyone, maybe a FAMAS if they want to get a little bit of extra kit and util backing. But Brute Monster not having the big green, it could be a factor. I mean, 2 and 7, he's had a tough start to Mirage.
Tough effort there from Simki as well towards the end of things, but you are right about Brute there. It was right up there with Avon at the top end of the board of the last map. Both players, again, 27 kills apiece. In this case, however, 3 and 2 respectively. I mentioned that you didn't think Avon was going to do the same thing from Nuke, carried over towards Mirage, and that certainly has applied, but there's not that Brute and that AWP. We won't have the AWP as well for this round. It's just the M4. MPL leading the charge so fast up. Saw the shoulder bait. That's information given up towards both sides. Blind fire on Brute. Tagged him. He read it so well. Turned on the Mana. Back we turn towards the sniper's nest. And in towards this ladder room is where Aaron's going to get the kill on the man. But Kenzizor will trade back. Advantage to the bait side, with Chofo also being tagged up. Back at CT spawn. A lot of low HP players at CT spawn right now. And eventually Zero Tenacity start backing away entirely. Is this for a reposition or is it for a save?
Kenzizor's in a strong pause up against Avon. Now it's got to be a save. That's just the in-game leader just doing God's work. Look at the perspective of MPL and how aggressively he's trying to challenge Con, Window Room, towards Short. That must just be such a good feeling if you're any other rifler on Bait to say, hey, our in-game leader is just doing the nasty work for us. He's just trying to challenge early to set us up in the rounds. That's great work from the overall pacing for MPL to get that round started.
Kenzizor with the closer. A wonderful sequence of frags from him as he's really starting to get spooled up now in this series. Again, bottom of the board in the last map with a margin of 13 kills at 11 here on this one.
And it tells you now how important winning that eco has been for Bait, what that's been extrapolated to now.
Half advantage now guaranteed. Zero Tenacity. Upgrade pistols, and they're not getting the same luck as they did in the previous map. No such chances for glory. As Headtrick, Kenzizor strike again. No further chances, it doesn't seem like. These Deagles and Avon and Simki have to pull off some miracles to try and claw something back in round 11. All about saving the money into round number 12 instead. Try go out on a high note. You mentioned 7-8 rounds for Bait. Be a target. It means about 8 might actually be a minimum. Z10, the best they can do is try and maintain that control over the 8th. Disallow it from being a 9-3 half, because that probably would guarantee a simple enough second map in the series.
Well, it's going off of the confidence and the overall parallels to what we've seen in the previous ECL games for Bait, in which they can have extremely one-sided performances. I look at the Spirit Academy game, 13-6 on Anubis. I look at the Arc Red game, where they won 2-1, 13-5 on Inferno, 13-6 on Mirage. So it's telling you that when Bait get into a comfortable map, when they're getting onto something that they feel that they've got more reps under their belt, that they've embedded Kenzizor better into the system, we see them playing like this, rather than what we saw over on Nuke.
Eight, 3. Bait. Look like they picked this map, most certainly. 0 Tenacity. Couple of good hits on Mirage in the last few months, but this one most certainly is that miss I feared so much. How much will it be a miss by? Again, 9-3 is the best case scenario for Bait. 8-4 is the best case scenario for 0 Tenacity. Anywhere from 4 to 6 rounds to the good at the turn of the half. The Orb is out for Brute. 2 kills deep for him. Kenzizor taking damage to the mid fighters. Haven, Brute and Namana all involved in these various angles of attack. The HE's landed on Manana. Oh, what a wonderful engagement. Head trick with a flashbang in for Kenzizor to peek right onto Brute. Headshot gains. He tried to escape. Fully blinded and everything. Down and out. The start sits with Bates.
Yeah, he's made a difficult fight look easy there. Just tiptoeing on the edge of the molly and swinging out to the tightest of angles against the short player. There's nothing that Brute could have done. And now MPL's even striking on a bit more of an offensive towards A. You've got a lurk out from Palace. 2 players with the bomb coming out A main, and lurk is in from mid too.
They are just wrecking them now. Mana taking 1 frag back in return. Simki in a 1-on-4. He's isolated 1 frag at the Palace entrance. Leaning towards Connector onto Kenzizor next. 2nd kill now. 3rd player up on the cinder blocks is Alex. They're giving him these 1v1 fights. One carrier making his way towards Palace. Engage does not go well for Simki. And Bait indeed can close the half on a massive high note. 9-3 at the turn. It's going to be a very difficult comeback for Z10 from here.
Undefeatable, I'm invincible. invincible. I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil and I'm let it loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal. I never lose, I'm bulletproof. Best in the game, you all know my name. Can't run now, it's too late.
When the series started, it felt like veterans would reign supreme, but the young guns have struck back here on Mirage. NPL continuing to be a dominant force, but it's Kenzizor that has come into his own. Currently top of the board for his side. Let's see whether he can maintain position as the pistols will begin again. CT side for Bait, 9-3 at the turn, 0 Tenacity. It's a long way back here, Dweg.
Indeed it is, especially when NPL strikes 10 seconds into the round with the opening kill. Simki can try and come up from Con, and everybody else can try and come out A.
He is just lit today. 15 frags, takes the top frag mantle away from Kenzizor in a blink of an eye, and looks for a whole lot more with backup on the way into the A site. They have conceded control. Z10 can get the bomb down as a result, but have to fend off a 5-on-3 as NPL gets another kill. Alex flicking a half straight to Avan's head, and now Choffo will get a return. Kenzizor's picked up. Alex continues to lead them into the back of the bomb site back here at Dark. Look over towards the jungle entrance where players been spotted. Choffo also charged out. Players backs a turn towards Palace, but he cannot get the headshot he requires, and the damage will be done across several players at the CT side, but none of them fall. Pistol win for Bait. They are charging straight forward to map 3.
And I legitimately think, Jay, in this isolated best of 3, the ecos have been more important than rifle rounds. And normally I always disagree with that. I think rifle rounds show consistency, it shows momentum and overall game plan from the first half to the second half. But I'm looking at Mirage and I'm thinking it was a 3-3 scoreline where we were starting to get some depth from Zero Tenacity. They lose to what? Deagles? And then they haven't won a round since then. It's just the carry-on momentum that Bait have brought since winning that eco round.
A streak that has grown and grown and will not seem to stop at any point here. And similar eco returns have not been found by the Zero Tenacity camp. Shenanigans were so rife on the last map that I wouldn't blame you for throwing that logic out the window. The Bait have taken the ball and ran with it. Zero Tenacity cannot seem to tackle them to the ground. The bomb plant bonus will enable them a buy here, but it's not a very strong one. Khalil's on to Choffo, one of them already tagged by a stray bullet. Emphasis towards the B split, that actually seems to be coming in very early here. Esenthial will try and hold them off with Molotov support. He's got an SMG as well towards the short entrance. Kenzizor at the archers gets Avan. Choffo trades him back. Esenthial is waiting for more contact, and Brute may be about to give it to him. Round the outside goes both the SMG and FAMAS player. The burst fire will come forward. It's an M4 back there, excuse me. Esenthial trying to find an angle of attack here. NPL's taking damage, and actually it will end up dropping there. So, advantage taken, extended by Choffo when it's 3k involved. Head trick has fallen, 2 versus 4. Esenthial finally puts him back down. Low HP for Brute. Simki's been taken. Namana waiting for a chance to strike back here at short. He cannot get involved. Brute can, though. Alex, HP advantage is massive over this man, and he'll secure the kill and the round.
And while we saw a lot of good impact from Choffo towards short with that Galil, there's just too many CTs on B, isn't there?
Yeah.
And it gets to a point, especially when Esenthial's not really fighting and he's kind of holding on the back wall, he's just toying with them. It buys time for further rotations. It allows more assistance to be brought forward from Alex in particular that comes from market and towards the back of bench. And Z10, you might as well buy back again here. You don't get the bomb down, but you at least have 4 casualties. You've got to try and force a reset at some point, so buy it up and hope that you're lucky.
Bait will be laughing at the way this map has gone down. Struggled so much to get the team play behind the stars. This time they didn't need any at all because their team play has come up in the impact of the individuals. Now 3 players hitting double-digit frags over on the CT side. They're running away with this matchup, and the confidence must change their own mentality going into that third. Choffo wants to change things for round 15. Alongside Namana and the Tech 9, will we find one of those steel rounds? It seems like we might just do. Alex overwhelmed by a Deagle next up. The Tech 9 got the penultimate kill here. MPL on esenthial 2v5. It looks like we're going to play on for a little bit longer here.
Indeed, it definitely has felt that there's been more scrappy rounds on Nuke than what we've seen on Mirage.
Yes.
And here for Z10, I mean, these are just all survival rounds, basically. You want to try and get yourself as close to double digits as possible. You want to try and cause yourself to be a bit of a threat, but at the same time, you need to be realistic and you need to be staying positive moving into that decider of Anubis, which both teams are going to be fighting for the title, considering how strong they both are on the map. MPL is basically in a position where he's being surrounded from Con and from Ladder. He's going to try and do his best to hold on to the MP9 and esenthial to hold on to the M4, and then go for the buyback come the next round.
Keep the one rifle. The money's not amazing for it. A no loss bonus means that we will be seeing those guns regardless. Alex already investing into the MP9. A little bit of time with Zero Tenacity to claw back a little bit of decency. But it's still 7 rounds to make up. Not an easy feat. And they well know it. They finally got their wildcard round. They finally got an awkward buy to work to their favour. The first one for Z10 in this map. Even on that regard, it's a broken buy now for Bait in the return. But can they pull off similar miracles? Can they find similar steals? And if they do, they most certainly will be in with a map victory. I can guarantee you almost that much.
Well, I can guarantee you this round can't be won. Not with a gamble stack towards A and no players on B. This should be an instant save from Bait.
Closest man being in the ladder room is Kenzizor, 5'7", not enough to engage against players at this range and find any success with it. So, yeah, you're right about that. Bait will back off. Hold on to all of their guns. At least there's many that don't fall to Namana in his exit frags. He's sticking around here to watch for players that come up from mid. And there is a player that could do that, but Kenzizor is very far away from contact. Creeps closer. Maybe he might offer himself up towards one of the CTs or vice versa. No need to overextend here for Bait, though. They've got their weapons. It's a unicorn round of sorts, a fifth to go to the border Z10, which is where they'll be focused on. And Bait won't have enough cash to invest in this in the follow-up round anyway, so this is actually a positive, the fact that they can basically get 2 buys for the price of 1. Try bring the Thunder once again. At least do some damage towards Z10.
And I do honestly believe that Bait would be more successful if they accepted a few more tournament invites. They've shown in the last few officials against Tier 1 teams that they can beat G2 and they can beat Astralis. Both of those series has had some incredibly close and competitive maps, but I mean, so far this year, they've played, what, 1 CCT, first round exit at Blast Bounty, and then here in ECL. It's just not giving Kenzizor a huge amount of time to get comfortable in the system without those officials being played.
Of course, their offensives might be turning towards some of the more VRS-eligible tournaments. They can build up those points, which might be their main concern at the moment. They have slipped out of that invite rank position. That top 32, that was the reason why they got towards Bounty, no longer an option for the Bait camp. Many options available against Zero Tenacity here and now. They've got the M4 in on esenthial, who's been tagged up heavily. Initial contact and the mid-take of Z10. Molotov's burning all around him. He is so close to burning to his demise. The HEs are placed so wonderfully as well as MPL that tries to strike first, but Avan has his number.
A good pressure out towards mid, and now the CT's trying to retake space towards A main. You've got 2 players going quite aggressively, and Simki just waiting for the play.
esenthial checked, dealt with. No resistance, foisted up by Bait in this one. Alex next to fall. Head trick, last man standing. Simki will get some just desserts, but they can go hunting here. They can take that rifle right back out of his hands. Make sure that there are no bonus weapons for the CT side, especially. Maybe upgrade the M4 in the case of Choffo if possible. The bomb will go down on the B site. There's no way the head trick can retake this. It's all about defending this weapon. Z10 will be up to 6.
He's got to hope that he's going to have a chance of doing so. Player going out towards Palace and a player going out to Ramp pretty much tells you that the chance of him holding onto this AK is quite slim.
And Brute's coming in. It's only a matter of time. Time runs short on head trick. Dark, very good pre-fire reaction, but didn't quite hit the headshot. Now Z10 are within 5 of Bait. This is where the real task begins, though. The AWP immediately out on the CT side. Head trick. Backed up by 3 M4s. An SMG still for esenthial is not perfect, but it is a buy.
And this is where Hetrick might need to be a little bit more selfish to say, right, I'm gonna work the opening pick. I'm gonna give us that leverage to start off the round, getting set up by a teammate or going for an aggressive duel. Esenthial, you can see the AWP getting boosted up there into window. Maybe wanted to try and go for a ladder pick early on. And Brute's hoping for the jump spot, sees it, but doesn't get a shot off.
Now, too quick on that jump from esenthial, not enough vision given away. But info at most for Brute. And HE down to 77 points of health, so actually Bait will get the slight one up over him. Slow to the uptake, slow to contact. Slowly forward onto position as they take mid control on Z10. Kentizor catches the Mana off guard, ready for Avon. Incendiaries to push him away, almost got his head lost. Players in from Skinetta, meanwhile, move forward. MPL will pick up one. Alex will suffer to Brute's quick up for a trade. And Choffa will get back onto MPL. Was make it a 3-on-2 right now for the Bait side. The bomb can commit towards the A site. Simki has that control. Got a challenge from range against Headtrick. The AWP fires right past him. They don't connect.
And Simki's got to try and take as much space away as possible. He's got to try and challenge to make this a 2v2, to even protect the likes of Choffa of getting the bomb down.
CT is exposed. Choffo's planting for default. The flashbang, however, will blind off the CT players coming from that angle. Esenthial makes his move up. Choffo has been seen. Simki is waiting for Headtrick to move from range. The rifle to strike. Simki strikes back. Choffo has been revealed and dealt with, and they can hold the whole defuse right here. Simki cannot reach the diffuser at this point. He's going to charge forward. The time stalling from Kentizor is more than enough. And the jump face and the kill in from Esenthial is extra salt in the wound as Bait make it a successful retake. And now sit with 6 map points.
I honestly don't think that Z10 could have played that any better. It's a 2v3 where you're planting for CT and you've got a player jungle. You just need that planter to get one, don't you? Even just the slightest of kill on one of those spawn players sets up the clutch for the likes of Choffo in jungle, but it doesn't happen. He gets pinned out towards dark. And Bait have now got plenty of rounds to close and a good buy off of the back of it, of keeping 2 alive.
Brute struck early for zero tenacity, though. NPL getting punished a little bit. Constantly kind of aggress towards these opening frags. It's not quite working out for him. Namana's caught Alex in the meantime. Headtrick tried to insert down there at mid, but didn't hit the opening shot for his own right. The Deagle does connect on Namana, but Choffa and Simki 2 kills right back. Z10 are starting to build back into this matchup, even if they have still got to try and grind to overtime. It's a very confident 7th round.
My issue is, at what point is it just an eco steal? Because Bait, they're not going to be able to consistently buy. We're going to see the odd round with upgraded Deagles, maybe 5-7 armor, the odd MP9. And I'm just thinking, with how threatening both of those teams have been across the series with those kind of buys, it's only a matter of time until it comes out successful.
And for now, Z10 are back within 5. They need those 5 in a row. Harsh pistol sets seem to come in from Bait here. The money balance out well with a loss bonus for a buy in the next. P250 for Headtrick seems to be the only weapon of value. Or Zeus also brought in by Alex.
I actually don't even mind a double eco here, just because you're already on 12 rounds, to say, let's strengthen up the economy and make sure that we get an AWP out for Hetrick, rather than buying up M4s in the next.
We'll come back to that when we get to the buys in the next round. Because you are right, there is an option there to them to really bolster their endgame. As if they sacrifice the here and now. No choice but to sacrifice the here and now right now. You waste the money to force at this juncture. Avin, kill found. Kenzie's all picked up esenthial, trying to wrap that corner. Headtrick does get a kill out of it. AK in the hands of the CT side, but now the only man standing on the CT side. As cut the bomb off from the bomb site, or rotate towards B very quickly, but not like it matters. Simkey's going to catch the headshot he's looking for on Headtrick. Around the way of Zero Tenacity. Now, will Bait opt for that second eco? No. It will be a buy here. M4's across for everybody.
Yeah, no kits and what, 2 incendiaries? I don't know about this one. This might come back to bite ya. Zero Tenacity will be under the perspective that they could be up against another buy. How is the leverage going to go for someone like Namana? Can he squeeze an opening pick? Can he start putting more pressure towards Bait?
Can Headtrick or MPL turn their impact up? MPL still top of the board, but struggle to find those early round openers like he's done so many times before. Headtrick, of course, weak to his weapon counterpart. Kenzie's all continuing to match MPL as best as possible. The default set to gain mid-control on the part of Zero Tenacity, Namana and Chofo. 2 players that are up there. The other 3 set towards various positions of A contact and potentially a split play that should come through. Depending on how they play out this short access, MPL's caught Namana off guard. His back turn right through the smoke. That M4 starts the round.
You've got Alex getting very aggressive behind this main smoke too.
Flashbang in. Avin's just as blind as Alex is. Alex's fades quicker as well. Avin revealing himself, giving Headtrick the perfect chance to spray through and protect his teammate. 5-on-3 established. The AWP of Brute does not connect his casualty. 24 points of health. Chofo finally strikes with a split play in. A secondary kill returns on Headtrick, but NPL was responded in kind. The bomb is now on site. Chofo trying to put it down here a little bit safer away from short contact. And NPL now makes his move forward. Sees the players in the open. Sprays good. Follows up on Brute. A wonderful quadra from the captain to extend to 23 kills in this game and a 13-8. Bait have taken Mirage. We're going to Anubis.
And that really is pure cinema. I mean, for MPL to get 4 in the last round to close out your map pick, he does it all. He leads by example and he puts numbers up on the scoreline. A very strong first half performance, closed down without too much threat. Didn't even get towards double digits for Z10. So I think for the Serbian squad, they'll be a little bit disappointed that they couldn't kind of push for more.
Knife round is set in for Zero Tenacity, so they get pick of the litter. They get to decide which half they go with, and surely they're going to be picking T-side of that.
Yeah, you would do. I don't think it makes a huge difference just because both of these teams are quite proficient on this map. I mean, I'm looking at Bait and their last 3 wins that they had in a row, 13-6 Spirit Academy, 13-2 Ecstatic, and then way back in October, an overtime win against Eternal Fire. This is a squad that can take scalps at the top end of Tier 2 and even take scalps of teams in the Tier 1 atmosphere.
And so they can take a scalp here and now. Bait and Zero Tenacity, one more dance to do in the best of 3 series on Anubis, and hopefully this will be the most spectacular dance of the night. Bait on the CT side start, Z10 pick into the T-half as the pistol goes live for our final map of the series.
Simkey tucking out and hearing aggression for esenthial that just tries to go for a quick prod out there from main. Kenzie Saw doing the same thing. Info gathering at the moment, but not getting a huge amount of at least the options of where the T-side players are.
As per usual, Zero Tenacity established their defaults and play things slowly, as was the case over that T-side of Mirage, as was the case a slightly lesser capacity over on Nuke at the same.
Well, Namana's just searching. He's trying to work a first duel out here from mid, completely solo by himself.
Starting a prod and maybe about to face contact at the CT side. His teammates nowhere to be near him in that context. It's all him on a solo fight. Takes an engage and Goosh is down Headtrick, but him and NPL can do a lot more damage in return. 55 points of health for Namana. The smokes now start coming on towards the A-bomb site as Namana will back away towards mid and rejoin his teammates later on in the round because they're executing now. Alex taps to the USP. Not 100% accurate. Brute can take the opening frag. Simkey can take MPL and a secondary kill and all. Headtrick's got to stay hidden and wait for backup. It's a 5-on-3 right now for Zero Tenacity.
Now, Hedrick's just not even getting a chance of a duel. No one's going aggressive here on the T side.
Well, except for Avon, who's now inserted towards Heaven. Brute's now involved in this position as Avon actually gets the kill back in. Amana now going to go ahead and join his teammates. As all three CT players move together with the firing squad. Brute can take one of them down. Chopper can take the other. Esenthial 1-on-4 now will take the first pick out of the round. Secondary kill. Spamming away with that USP and taking one more back. The bomb is in an open plant position. Esenthial's got no kit as well. Time is against him and Amana knows it. He's called his bluff. He's drawn him out of the bomb site and drawn out the pistol win for Z10. Very good effort for Esenthial, but it was too little too late.
And I actually want to give a lot of credit towards Namada in the round, not so much for the time stalling he's done at the end there, but notice how he is drawing information away from that camera area, isn't he? He's kind of tucking out from house. He's taking bullets. He doesn't commit to fighting there. If he just commits and he loses the fight, then everyone can focus their attention towards the bomb site directly, and it's a man advantage up from Bait. It was a great individual move for the in-game leader to realize, okay, I've been unsuccessful with this prod. I'm going to back my team to get into the bomb site on the Exi, and I'm just going to give the respect of not continuing to pray.
Pistol success to the T-side line. Bait on the SMG buy set, forcing their way into round number 2. Chopper's ready for it. Here's the footsteps. Checked on the corner, though. Alex and head trick, and Alex can combine again. The 3 between them at range on the MP9s. Namana and Avon suddenly very alone, very afraid in a 2v5 scenario.
It's an extremely unorthodox play. Normally, when you go aggro water, you might put a smoke down towards the T-stairs, might put a molly out towards rugs, a flash around the corner. That was as dry as anything, and it's just crippled them. They've just lost so much from that first contact towards A main that Avon can't recover this round. Yeah, he might be able to get the odd pick here or there, but there is no chance of survival.
A 1-on-4, 1 pick found in amongst it. AK upgrade available to him here on the floor. I'm not sure exactly where it dropped to, but it doesn't matter. He's going to face on towards the CT side in a moment. And looking the wrong way at the wrong time costs him his life. What a steal there from Bait.
And that comes to the conversation that we had legitimately 5 minutes ago. It might not have been an eco, but a force buy win when you had a pretty comfortable pistol, it now just ruins you. That was the perfect start for Z10. You can get off to that 3-0 beginning. You can lead by example. Oh, wait, we've been reset with double eco status. All of the momentum has now just been swung in Bait's favor because this is such a tough round to work. Yeah, you've got the hero AK on Brute Monster, but up against the rest of the buy, it's very unlikely they can convert this round.
Brute's going to have to be the hero of the round if Z10 are going to do anything here. Flashed in against the CT side. Are already prodding out a beam main. Esenthial's caught in the mana. Damage done on towards Brute. Will take that 1 pick onto Kenzie's Orb, 11 points of health for him to play for the rest of it. Esenthial gets caught through the smoke. NPL forced to fight back at Electric. Headtricks HE's caught Brute in the meantime, and NPL recovers the situation. So nothing major lost. Chopo has got an AK in his hands, picked up off his dead teammate. One more player out of the fold, try and make it expensive for Bait. As you said at the start of the round, he shouldn't be seeing a conversion here from Z10.
And it's the right idea. You've got a hero AK on 1. You've got to make Brute be a player that can force something, right? Work an opening pick, get himself a couple. Chopo's actually got 2. Edge of the smoke, Hedrick comes in, and maybe similar to the pistol, looks as if it's a done deal. It's a 4v1. It gets quite close. Similar there. Should have been 3 players being alive. Z10 might look at it and say, do you know what? We want to force buy again. We want to try and reset straight away.
Money will be low, but it's an option, and they're going to take it. Chofo, AK, passed off to Namana. And the upgrade pistols are out for everybody else. Tech 9's on 2, Deagle's on 2 more. Bait are not out of the woods. I feel like they might recognize that themselves. SMGs on Kenzie's Orb and Esenthial going to be the weaker elements of the Bait buy. All 5 players ready to commit towards that B site. Have they recognized the weakness? Well, HEs will weaken up their HP 9s. And now Esenthial sees what's coming. It's India is going to be a little bit late. The SMGs will combine. Kenzie's Orb with 2 mode down. Esenthial gets one of his own, but triples in from Kenzie. 2 HP for him. And Namana going to burn, blinded off by the smokes. Kenzie's Orb wants to hunt him. Can't make his way through the fire and the flames. But he's done more than enough. 3 kills on the defense. Bomb dropped and all. Namana's got no chance. It's another case of trying to get exits.
It's definitely one of those situations which is very rare, right? Where the T side actually has an option of force buying. You almost never see that. But because of the economical damage done in the last round, I think that was the correct call. It was a positive mindset for Namana to say, we want to be on the front foot. We want to put pressure onto Bait. Let's jump at this chance. Now, in hindsight, you look at it and you go, well, it hasn't gone right for us at all. It's actually been a disaster. But you need to now push that aside and stay mentally very positive, because Bait are now going to have a couple of AKs to work with, a really strong economy. They're going to be up against a Light and Deco. This is where, if you are MPL, you're probably targeting an 8-4, a 7-5 CT half. At least give yourself the lead moving into the turn.
A massive victory to take on the CT side of this map. You know how valuable the attacking half is on Anubis. Heavy damage done to Namana and Simki in this round. Of course, it is an eco, so haven't got much resistance on the Kevlar perspective. Be one step closer to that advantage for the Bait side, and they all recognise they stand to gain at this juncture. A good CT half might be enough. A good opening set of rounds for Bait would win them this series and bring them back into positives, put Z10's first loss of the Challenger League on the board. MPL's taken 2 kills, so they're well on the way to doing that.
Well, it was a really slow start on Anubis against the Iberian Soul lads. They were actually started on the CT side and went 3-9 at the turn of the half. Had to have a monster T side to recover it. So I'm now just wondering, is this maybe a factor of third map decider? Doesn't really matter what side that you start on, but just not quite getting those first few rounds, being on the back foot and constantly being pressured. At least we know that Brute's going to want to try and get that big green up, try and see if he can be impactful towards top mid, work out from the T-stairs, catch maybe one of the jigglers towards A main or out there in the canals towards electric. A 4-1 for Bait. They'll be very happy with how the start of this map has gone.
Rifles with zero tenacity to stop that start. Get going of their own right. Three to the good on the CT side. The utility resistance is perfectly timed at this B site. The HEs from a previous round, the incendiary on this one. All 5 players out here for Z10. Execution is quick. Namana struggling to get away with the second kill. Kenzizor and Headtrick get away with 2, but Brute and Avon trade them back and gain the man advantage. 3-on-2 for them. Bomb plant will be secured. MPL and Alex are still setting up in mid. I don't know if they're going to go for this here.
Well, they might as well look for exits at a bare minimum. Even if they don't commit to the retake, the money is so strong that you should hang around to see if you can get some exit damage off.
The smoke at Temple will basically confirm that MPL can't make his way in, although Alex is sneaking all the way back around to the bat lines. I think that Brute's ready for this here. Orp does take him. Alex down. MPL just to hold on to his weapon. I think they're aware of his exact position. They can escape back from main and be safe. Zero Tenacity will get their second round on the board.
That was actually an excellent raid from Bait. The molly placement out there to main, the rotation of the third player on B. From a fundamental point of view, that's probably the best CT read and hold that you can have. So it's so surprising when it gets ripped apart. You only need to praise and give credit to the trading ability. That's super uncomfortable for both Avon and Brute Monster to come through from main up against so many players when you're trying to clear all of the bomb side, to not only take B, but to take it with a man advantage with the bomb going down.
Two rounds that are good still on Bait's part. Z10 still have to catch up fully. Namana has got a lot of map control here. Mid uncontested by Bait. They'll leave MPL to play double duty on the side defensive of A. Look back towards camera now. Timing is everything in this next fight, and how this next fight goes could well decide the round. No, Namana has slipped right past his grasp. Meanwhile, in over at A main, Alex behind the smoke, flashed in. Simki blind spraying. Alex will take a kill and a half through that smoke. Chofo tagged to 46, but Namana is still creeping all the way back at CT spawn.
It's a round-winning lurk, but it still comes down on whether the A players are going to be successful. Now, MPL and Alex, in theory, should be dropped here by Namana.
They have no idea of this luck. None whatsoever, but they start looking around towards camera. Alex might get caught off guard. Both seen. Tap burst. That's wonderful. Namana indeed has made the round-winning lurk. The players make their way into the bomb site. This plant will be secured. Avan's there to cut off esenthial on the rotations. And Patience, the virtue that they have plenty of. Z10 are going to be on 3.
And that was a quality lurk. But I want to break that round down, Jay. Now, the previous one, where they exit towards B, there was 3 on B straight away. Now, what the T side do there, and you might have to watch the demo to see exactly how it goes, there is a Rugs player that throws a HE towards the doors, and then the Namana, who was deep in top mid, throws another HE towards the doors. So if anyone was there on the doors, they would have died to that HE. Now, the next thing that comes is no util. Now, normally, if there's a mid player and those HEs come in, maybe there's an incendiary being a throw. Maybe there's a flash over house. There's no util. So the tell for Namana is, I actually don't think anyone's playing mid. And that's why he makes that solo mission without using any util. He wants to be the element of surprise. That's a perfect read from the in-game leader.
Z10 start to climb back truly now. Bait not going to be allowed such easy access to a half advantage or even the minimum 6 at this stage.
And surely after that last round, B's going to be weakened and A's going to be weakened because there's going to be more emphasis towards mid. And that's when you can start mind gaming the CTs on where they're stacking up.
Well, you say that, but actually no one's going to go towards mid early in this round. Same setup. MPL and Alex on the A site. MPL playing double duty there in mid. Centralized towards the bomb site over at camera. 3 players back on the B site. There's money available to them because of the nature of how the economy is worked out. Slow to the uptake. At least they'll leave MPL a bit more aggressed into that camera position more directly. Kenzie's all meanwhile burning with that Molotov. They think he's closer. They think he backed off. Head Trick has certainly used that position as a bait in towards Simki. First casualty of the round against the T side, but a lot of damage done across the board of bait.
And Namana's still got a lot of space towards mid. He could put emphasis down here towards MPL.
Oh, HE to 12. It's not looking good. Alex may have to do a lot of the heavy lifting on the A site. Namana's once again acting out towards mid, revealing himself with an engagement on MPL that doesn't quite fully go the way of the kill. Flash in, meanwhile, Alex is caught fully blinded. MPL falls quick. Avan turns right on Alex, and that is the A site fallen again.
We are seeing some proper CS right now. I look at how Mirage went down. It was scrappy at times. I look at Nuke, and that was, well, a bit insane, to be honest. I mean, 3 ecos being won in the first half, that's not the CS that we've come for. The mid-round reads from both sides, the stacking up of the bomb sites, the patience, this is proper CS. And this is what we should expect from squads to the caliber of both Bait and Zero Tenacity consistently in best of 3s.
Yeah, most certainly. Hedrick get an exit. Namana will fall. The 3 rifles will stay in play here for the CT side. The money in reserve is not great, though. Relying almost entirely on loss bonus to get yourself the buy back, which should build up by quite the amount. So they will get the buy-in on Alex. Drop weapons towards MPL. 4 apiece, all evened up. Zero Tenacity. Put a stopper on Bait's initial wonderful start. And may have found a weakness because that's 2 rounds in a row. The A site got hit and they couldn't really hold off for it. Last time because of the lurk, this time because of the utility damage that just decimated them en masse. Will it be the repeating scenario? Will Zero Tenacity hit A site again and will Bait be able to deal with it? Or is there a shake-up on the CT defense?
Well, they're starting to get the idea and the read that B's being stacked up heavily with 3 in these last few gun rounds. So keep working mid and keep working these A-split potentials up until the defense starts to move. Double mid for the first time in a long time. MPL and Hetrick to work together.
Hetrick breaking away from that B defense, so I guess the defensive already has moved at this stage. But so has the offensive default the same. They've got a smoke down over towards that that main position over on A, and then a rotation in towards Canals going onto the B-bomb site. So it looks like a B hit been called at the perfect moments here for Zero Tenacity. Kenzizor moved away the Molotov. Player in the back lines, esenthial alongside Kenzizor can combine with those 2 kills, trade back for 1. See the player at the platform. Great sequence from Kenzizor. Triple in the round for him. And Brute around the corner in a 1-on-4. Kenzizor knows that he's somewhere close. Doesn't know exactly where, but doesn't look like it matters. Brute's been seen. Kenzizor with a quadra. The hero of the backline reclaims the lead for Bates.
Yeah, that is a proper Cold Palmer moment out there on B. Just the utility support that comes through from blocking, the resmoke down towards main, the reaction for Kenzizor to not only relocate because of the molly, but to turn away from the flash, to deal with the electric players, to be ready for the frag to come out from jail, and then just instantly start fighting back towards main. That is a beauty of a hold out there on B.
Indeed it is. Combined efforts of 2, but mostly down to the 1 individual that just did absolute work there for the bait camp. And again, another massive moment for Kenzizor. Exactly what we want to see out of him. He's had a good game in the second map. An impact here in the third. Was slow to start over the course of the day, but this is exactly what we were what I was hoping to see, at least. Exactly what he was hoping to prove in this series.
Maybe it's also Bait looking at us as a community and the majority of Tier 2 casters and saying it's not always about the hot prospects that we're looking at. I would say Kavem has been looked at for the better part of the last 12 months to 24 months as a real hot rookie. Someone that can upgrade a squad massively and was ready for that chance towards the top. And he's definitely going to prove it on Passion UA. But for someone like Kenzizor, who hasn't maybe had the biggest of voices in the community, to see him here competing with Bait and to see the performances from the last couple of maps of the series, it is impressive and it's a good start.
Look at Bait set up here in this round. 3 AKs. Plenty recovered off Z10 in that previous. Z10 lacking in 1 on the Galil.
And notice how supportive the AWP is as well from Hetrick. He's not looking for fights. He's playing super defensively towards camera and A for the majority of these rifle rounds.
And then Namana loves to push that issue, so best to hold the defensive rather than to try and force ahead. They do get pushed back regardless. Smoke towards Temple. Molotov on camera. Smoke on camera as well from Namana to block vision and disallow any access towards that mid angle. Won't know exactly what's going on, although they will know that he can't make his way into another backstab. Back into Canals to engage against Kenzizor, putting HEs down. Very nice land on Simkey.
Yeah, Hetrick's going to be slow on the rotation to come through from Beach if they do want to set up 3 on B. Kenzizor up against the smoke. Namana gets the entry.
Straight swing, headshot lined up. Esenthial backed up at Glyph. And second teammates on the way. That's MPL involved in this. The vertical crossfire locked out as Esenthial's peek in. MPL is mowed down the same. And that's going to have to be a safe call now for Alex and Hetrick. Hetrick will stick around to the back lines, hoping he can get an exit frag. But this will not be around for Bait. Zero Tenacity answer back in kind.
And this T side is Namana at his very best. You might look at the numbers and the kills overall and say, that's only 7 kills. How can that be his best? He's confident and he is ready to make those aggressive moves. Even if he's losing the fight, he's setting up the avenue for a lot of the Xyz. We've seen how much pressure he's put towards mid in this round with the util of the double mollies towards camera, the smoke. You start second-guessing it if you're Bait. You're thinking, is it another one of these A-splits? We've been smoked off from Temple too. We don't really know what's going on. And then instantly, you have a HE blowing open the smoke towards Electric. Opening kill comes through from the in-game leader, and then the bomb site just collapses from that point onwards.
How quickly they neutralize Kenzizor as they get revenge from that last round. Mow him down, give him no chance to have another incredible sequence of frags on a defensive line that you can't stop. But he is still top end of the board right now for Bait. Top of the server, in fact, on the frag counts. 9 frags. Second is Headtrick at 8. Alex and Namana tie up the third place position at 7 apiece.
Oh, hang on. Aggression in water. I haven't seen this.
Seems to be true there from the CT side. Look at Kenzizor. He wants to get a bit more active. There's smokes in the way of first contact to the right-hand side. Smoke put down by the CT side and all, so they might suspect this here on Z10.
This is where protection needs to come from Hetrick looking down towards T-stairs to make Kenzizor only focus towards that mid window out from bridge. Opening kill already comes from the AWP, and Hetrick's actually going to try and block towards B main to slow them down. Namana again with the opening kill, though.
Checked it in mid, wonderfully placed. Second player, MPL, overwhelmed by Avan's flashbang, completely blinded. Alex tried to prod out A main, but he couldn't get a kill for his own right. Smoke comes out against that Molotov. Namana still here in mid. Alex has got to defend the A site from that oncoming onslaught, but it could all be a ruse. Look at the timing here from the AK. This couldn't be more perfect. Esenthial's in so much trouble, and he has no idea. Quick burst to the back of the head. Headtrick's turn. It's going to be turned towards one direction, whether that be main or Temple. He turns on Temple with Smoke protecting at main. The 3-on-2 can ensue. The bomb plant will look to get stuck here. The second rifler, Alex, is on the way to the retake.
Avan just needs to get some support, and that smoke from the left-hand side buys him some cover to reposition.
Another wraparound from Choffo as well to a secondary backstab on Z10. Headtrick inside of the smoke. Brutes watching with an AWP scoped in towards Glyph. Avan so close to Headtrick. So close to seeing Alex's sprays, but Choffo closes in the pincers. Headtrick starts to get hunted. We'll get away with Avan at least. Triple in the round for him, but it does not yield the round success. Looking for exits at this stage and running out of ammo. One bullet left in the mag. Needs to hit this Choffo on the next shot, and it's not going to happen. Taking out all players down on bait, and there's 6 on the board for Z10 as we go to the last round of the half. The money is not amazing for bait.
And Namana really has been exceptional on this T side, hasn't he? After struggling across the series in Map 1 and Map 2 to consistently be that forward-facing player on the T side, he has basically won out this half by his own. His lurk attempts, the over-rotations, the pure entry power that he's bringing, this has been a masterclass from Namana.
Play smart, play effective, and play up to your opponent's skill level.
And it was such a slow start from Z10, wasn't it? 1-4 down after losing the anti-force buy, and they're actually going to, by the looks of it, come out on top with a half win.
7-5 seems like it's likely the setup's better for Z10. Bait has struggled in these rifle rounds. Z10 have picked apart their weaknesses piece by piece and read their adaptations extremely well. SMG of Alex catching off Choffo. Simkey does trade him. Molotov support pushing him into that corner, and the SMG not enough stopping power compared to the AK. MPL tries to peek into Namana, who is so ready for that casualty. Returning frag to the advantage now on Z10.
They just haven't used enough util towards mid to actually fight for it. Haven't seen players hanging around the doors or even house. They've given just so much freedom to Namana in this first half to have respect and to do his own thing on a solo mission. Plenty of time still left on the clock. Lurk out towards A. Seems as if it's going to be an A split. 2 from mid and 2 from A main.
30 seconds left. Mana's moving closer. Esenthial. SMG ready for a point-blank contact. And the AK loses it out. He's got a second player he jumps in towards right there. Avan forced to continue the fight. Meanwhile, on the bomb site, Headtrick has just gotten 2 picks out of it. Avan runs right into him with a decent headshot, but needs to go right back into main to grab that bomb. I don't know if he's got time with resistance incoming, with flashes inbound. 5 seconds. Needs to prioritize his plant. He's tapping for the kills. He turns back 180 towards esenthial, and that costs him his life. Bait just about scraped together one more round to make it even as we go to the second half.
a previous day. Grab the keys from off the counter, commute into the city, gonna take another hour. Man, I hate trading time for a way. At least I got a home and a job that pays. Faded from color, reaching the fire when I wonder how. Saying it'll all be fine, why you sit around and waste your time? Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive.
You look like a child. Well, thank you very much, Arthur. I've been very lucky down here. Feeling better than I did up north.
Collars itching, face is twitching, another cup of joe and I'm fine. Come 5, I can burn a fresh dime. Lifting up the burdens, putting weight on my mind. Bet if I didn't chase that and embrace distractions, master my lack of faith and break through. Faded from color, reaching the fire with a wonder high. Saying it'll all be fine, why you sit around and waste your time? Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive. I'm holding out as I fight. I feel my colors wash away. Been finding my ground in the light of the hours I can claim. 'Cause in time I can make this. I restore my complexion and find.
And it turns out the veterans do have control of the situation. Namana providing impact, and round after round going the way of Zero. Tenacity nearly took the opening half on the T side, but Bait clung on to keep it even. It's their T halfway. Are they going to surge ahead? Are they going to maintain this? Are they going to turn someone like Hedrick into their new impactful guy and try and take hold of map 3?
Well, MPL's certainly losing out in the battle of impact versus Namana, isn't he? That needs to change come this second half. Aggressive duel with a re-smoke down. This should be a cancel.
Firing squad revealing themselves, but Namana has been caught off by MPL, so that's one way to respond towards that impact, but Simki takes him right back out of the picture. 4-on-4 into the B side. They look to charge. Can Brute dive in? Backs a turn, except for Alex. He still gets his head taken clean off. That's the bomb carrier, though. A second kill, a third kill on the USP. Heads rolling all over Electric, and Hedrick can't do a damn thing about it. Pistol win for Z10.
Now we're talking. Anytime you drop mid-bridge into water, your job is to maybe get one, but stall. Try and see if you can draw more T-side players towards you to help the rotations. The CT's coming out from Spawn, coming through from Temple. Mate, he just obliterates them. He just gets kill after kill. That is such a sick round from Brute Monster.
Beauty. That's all I've got to say to that. When Bait felt like they had all of the pace. Knocked back on their ass.
And is this where you start thinking, could Nuke have been taken to make it a 2-0? We got it into overtime. We could have pushed it over the line, gone 1-0 up in the series, got into Mirage and taken it. Now you're up 4-1. You're now down 6 to, well, definitely 8. The game's starting to run away from them.
Only being so many more chances. At least it's not a massive advantage for Z10 at the turn of the half, because if it was, then you might already be looking at the beginning of the end. There is buffer room. Esenthial, first casualty of this round, the nade stack. Hitting him off over at Electric, attempted take of the B1 site once again. Simki and Avon have it on mark. Now this round on lock. No casualties for the CT side as Bait go into the gun by.
Now, because Namana only had dualies in that round, Simki can drop over his MP9 to Namana and they can get an AWP out for Brute Monster if they want. Or there's two ways of playing it. You maybe try and keep as many of these SMGs in as possible and go for a canal crunch, maybe? Smoke T-stairs, molly rugs, try and come through from electric and put some intent down on getting those MP9s aggressively into fights very early into the round.
The smokes are set. Bait are suppressed upon all avenues of attack. Can't get into main, can't get into mid, can't get into electric by their own accord. 3 players on that B defensive, 1 in mid for Namana. It's HG to try and pop open vision, but we'll see nothing of the T side.
Just all outside of A. Chofo can put the molly down when he hears footsteps and even drop the smoke. That will buy time for Namana to rotate in from camera and help with 2 players on A.
Incendiary well timed. They're forced to fall back. I think you heard some of that damage as well to Kenzie's or smoke coming in.
Nice.
Also well timed. HG. Oh, that is wonderful. Chofo spray doing damage, but he's blind, so he's not accurate. Namana's got to come up with the 2 kills instead. MPL can trade to a 3-on-3, but he is tagged. Alex is low. Bomb plant could be secured, but the owner sits with 0 tenacity here.
The resmoke down from camera is going to make it awkward. Brute Monster needs this jewel out from the beach position. The problem is, none of the T side are actually offering a jiggle right now.
Orb ready. Swing forward, missed shot. Simki distracting his man. Brute, he can't hit the second one either. Now they turn their attention towards camera as Avon makes himself known. Brute, a 3rd shot missing, and they're forced to back away and save. Bait, well done. MPL, well done with his 2 kills in the round. He made the difference again.
And that's a real shame because the utility usage there from Chofo is brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as he hears the 1 tick of a player in from the incendiary, he gets ready for it to be an A exec. The smoke is on point. The HE is even better. It's unfortunate that he doesn't get a kill completely blind there because with the HP damage and you being at close range with the MP9, you expect to get 1 and then Namana might be able to get 2, try and fall back, hold the man up. Doesn't quite happen. 0 tenacity, unfortunately, crumble on the bomb site, and Bait, well, they give themselves a lucky break very early into the second half, come the first gun round.
Rifles for 9 players, only 1 SMG for Avon. And money in a state for both teams. Bait have a little bit better in savings for Alex and Kenzie's Orb, but not by a massive amount. Esenthial, the first player to take damage alongside Headtrick. That's a nade down. Namana charging forward. NPL's not seeing that coming. Utility in hand. And Z10, another fantastic read on their part.
Hey, he's extremely confident, and he's a playmaker on this CT side. Bait don't have much map control at all. A lurker outside of B main. A few players towards water. The bomb crossing back into spawn. This is going to be a difficult round to recover. They'll need a bit of a clean entry on this B split. 2 players coming in from the canals and 2 out from main.
Molly's up to sight hit. That one bursts in the middle of the air for Bait, though. Counter incendiary for Simki will block them away from camera. The HE for Alex needs to get a kill off the back of this, but there's another smoke in the way on the center of the bomb site. They're charging in completely blinded. Molly's back at Glyph will force Simki into the open. Avon gets the kill onto Alex, though. 5-on-3. Headtrick finally trades back 1. Namana out to the entrance will get a kill on Kenzie Zora. Esenthial will trace back Simki on the center of the bomb site. The bomb is with them. Headtrick needs to plant.
They're trying to slow play it. They're trying to draw a fight out in the open, but the CTs are actually quite happy to respect the plant here.
Esenthial given the bomb. 45 points of health, though. Headtrick on 65. Esenthial gonna wait for Choffa to make his way up. Out of the forward side of Glyph. Lean in, engage found. Nice and easy. Headtrick, 1-on-3 now. AK backed up. Headshot gain. Namana quick on the trade. And Z10 quick to respond.
And this is where I'm going to be very critical, Jay, and rip in and say, you just can't be missing util. In such a key round, when you've won the first gun round in the second half, you can't afford for a molly to just explode in the open. It's not good enough at this level of competition because Z10 are going to capitalize on that. They'll be able to hold a stronger position on the backside. They'll keep Namana's attention drawn. So you're up against 3 CTs on B without that extra molly. And look at the difference of what it meant with the trades.
Tactical timeout called in by Bait. Their first one of the map.
Well, I'm just thinking, since losing pistol and going 4-1 up, they haven't strung rounds together, have they? They won, what was it, round 9? Then they won round 12, and now they won first gun round on T side in the second half, and that's it. Individual rounds are not going to help you economy-wise or momentum-wise at all here on Anubis.
It's true. Look at the state of the buy and the points proven. Mac 10s on 2 players, Tech 9 Glock, Galil for Alex being the best weapon. Doesn't feel good. Bait won't be feeling confident about their chances in round 17, but they have to pull it off somehow. They've done crazier things with less equipment. It'd be like a nuke round right here. Orp for Brutes. Flashed off, dealt with by esenthial quick, didn't pull the trigger for a blind plucky shot. Choffo lines up 3 and transfers the spray back and forth to get them all. Pistols remain on MPO and Head Trick. The bomb is lost to them. The rest of Z10 are on the way. Backup is here and the round is lost.
A great hold from Choffo. Just when it seemed as if there was an opening chance there from Brute Monster's Def to be able to capitalize, to pounce into the bomb site, the ace comes out. And this is maybe where we do need to look at numbers on a bit more of a clearer scale and say MPL has gone from averaging 23.5 kills on map 1 and map 2 to now 8. That's a huge drop-off. Yeah, you might be in slightly different roles, and even in that round, he only had a Glock in comparison to all the other upgrades. But to go from that strong of a fragger to now basically not even producing impact, maybe that's a key reason why Bait are struggling here on Anubis.
Another tactical called in. They need to get themselves held together now, Bait.
Well, they needed a bomb plant in that last round. You've got, what, 2 Galils out and only 1 full set of util on esenthial, and that's it?
They weren't able to secure it, so they've got to make do. They at least have 3 AKs. The majority of weapons are good. But Z10 have the full buy, and Bait have to challenge that to perfection. Once again, impact players are not making the difference compared to the team play of Z10, and now Namana is taking over the top of the board. Pulling the rest of the train along. The hype train of Z10. Bait trying to derail it as they play their way in towards mid. Is Brute ready for the kill? Not quite. Flash in against him. Smoked off from camera. Reface not secured. Both CTs back off.
And very defensive here for Namana. Now he's got options to go back towards B, even stay here in spawn. This could be him getting a multi-frag. They might not expect this position.
He's got Avon on the crossfire as well. Back turn, he jumps up to get a little bit more higher ground. 1 player forward, back still turn there towards the Namana. Alex finally trades him. We'll go back for the bomb. It's a 3-on-3. Simki on the AWP, or on the M4 rather, I should say. Bats up into the back lines. Alex will spot them out from main, but are they ready for that CT entryway? That player is still so close, and he'll catch off Alex. Drop the bomb. Choffo is inbound as well from this temple entrance. esenthial are going to get that kill. They go in for the bomb quickly, but Choffo is so close, and they have no idea. The bomb's dropped again. esenthial a 1-on-2. Will put the plant down, but they're coming in from 2 different angles. One here from camera, the other from electric. Picked up quick. esenthial knows exactly where Choffo is. Knows that you can't reposition too far. Swing forward. Barely missed the barrel, barely missed the pixel. And timing is everything as Choffo keeps himself hidden. Slowly peeks forward, slowly gives himself up towards esenthial, who wins the clutch and the 3K. And an all-important round for Bait. They needed that one. And they got it.
Someone needed to step up, and out of all players, it's esenthial. It's not an expectation that he's going to be able to win those late round 1vx's. Excellent pre-aim against the AWPer down there towards electric. And then the reposition to get out on Jail. Chofo didn't see him cross, so doesn't even pre-aim towards the area. Limits the buy, but same for the T side. Double Mac 10s and Galil. This is a round where there is a lot of awkward weaponry, to say the least.
Lamana.
Oh, here we go.
Here he goes. Is MPL ready for it? Yes, he is this time. Mac 10 at range with a headshot. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, not a chance.
Yeah, that's the risk not quite paying off, and now it's going to be difficult for the CTs to work. Gamble stack out here from the canals. Good pick against esenthial. They need to deal with the player on the left-hand side, though.
Simkey peeking forward. Avin doubles up to Kensizor, so now it's all clear on the canals. The bomb being left out here with MPL, though. Player coming up. Footsteps heard, and Chofo will drop for it. Meanwhile, Simkey continues to hold the man advantage. 3-on-2 as head trick falls. Alex blind spraying. Both him and MPL are known towards the CT side. And the Galil actually finds Brute aggressing through the smoke. They're getting a little bit too greedy. Here's Z10. Now Avon's pulled back into the bomb site. They slow it down.
At least Avon's alive. We know that an experienced player in these kind of rounds can do a lot, but it's a misread. They're going to try and double up towards A together.
They saw the bomb on that side of the map. It's only fair to assume it will go that way, but they've assumed wrong. B site will now be taken by Alex. MPL will make his way in soon enough. Utility of the smoke to confirm that it is going to be a B here. Avon didn't commit whole hog with the rotate, but he will not be here in time to stop the bomb from going down. Alex sees him. Quick burst is wonderful. Took damage. But Avon's dropped Simkey in a 1-on-2. He's got the HP advantage over both. 45 and 46 versus 74. Simkey hasn't got a kit, though. Was there one dropped on site? Can't see one. Leans in. Checks the corner. MPL will not allow him to walk much further. Triple in for the captain once again. It's 9 to the border. Bait Z10 have been reset.
And now this is where you almost need to take the context out of the first half and the beginning of the second half and just erase it from your memory. When you've got these kind of scorelines, when it's 10-9, when economy is very low for both squads, it doesn't matter who's played better previously. It's who's coming up in these clutch rounds, who's coming ahead in the 1vx's. We've just seen a 1v2 and a 2v2 be converted from Bait, and it's surviving their chances right now. It's allowing them to get closer to a tied-up scoreline. 0 Tenacity, 2400 loss. You just go full USPs here. You focus up on the next gun round, and it's going to be a limitation for Brute Monster. He's not going to be able to get the AWP in his hands. So, okay, how do we find impact in the next gun round? I'm looking at someone like Namada, maybe not to push mid all the way through a smoke, but to be an impactful difference, to be the one that's going to work a kill.
Heavy presence from Z10 in 2 key choke points. Will Bait run into them? Will these pistols be able to steal a rifle or 2 away? We've seen some eco steal shenanigans. Nothing quite on this scale, though. The upgrades have been pivotal towards those successful moments, but this is not an option for Z10. Bait are on their way forward. In towards this main position will go Brute, and we'll go Chofo, and we'll go Simkey out from head trick. 2 kills to the AWP. They deal with it effectively. Bait are all the way back. Now can they take the lead?
Now, this is screaming very similar signs to what we saw on Nuke on a potential overtime. I'm just looking at the reset potential of a 10-10 towards the CTs, with there being no money in the reserve, only 2,900 loss bonus, with the T side having the advantage with more cash and just the overall half of the map. I want to say that Bait's in a much stronger position than Z10 are.
I would agree. But we've seen how quickly these matches can fall apart. Bait were trailing behind 0 Tenacity, are back on all the way over on Nuke. Z10 hit the map point first. Bait had to force them to overtime, then Z10 took full control. very similar circumstances with being dead set even in the final few rounds of this matchup. Very good smoke block there from Namana. Nice gap to work with. Got a blind fire from safety onto MPL. He'll recognize that that was a body block. The HE will come in against that position. However, he'll counter it very well.
And they're starting to become a good challenge between Namana and MPL towards mid in the majority of these rifle rounds in the second half.
He got so close to landing at least one of those tags against one of those T-side players beyond the smoke. With neither of those kills coming in, Namana has to back off, back into camera, to wait out the siege.
Well, I like this. Just block as soon as there's contact of a flash or even a jiggle. And 2 towards A. The unfortunate nature is the lack of util that Chofo's got. He's only got 1 smoke to block towards main.
"35 seconds. They're walking forward ever so slowly. Season smokes up. Kenzizor charges in anyway. Namana, the last bullet in that spray, catching MPL. The USP does so much, and Alex is forced to continue the spray back. esenthial has to trade it, and indeed he does, to go for the bomb, to get it down on the bomb site. The mid cut off there from Hedrick needs to provide some sort of trade backs instead of 3-on-2 right now. With Zero Tenacity, and Hedrick's caught tunnel visioned. It's all esenthial, and he's all dead. Zero Tenacity reclaim the lead.
And Namana really is the king of Anubis, isn't he? There's a reason why he's averaging over a 1.30 rating on this map in the last 3 months. That is just pure impact from the IGL. To drop the smoke as soon as he hears the smoke going down from Temple, before he's even got a contact on that area, the spray, 2 kills instantly, damage up on the 3rd. You could not have asked for a better hold on A.
Yeah, you couldn't. Now he's the star. 21 frags. The fragging IGL that MPL cannot be at the very end of the map up, and you have to wonder if he was able to post the kind of numbers that he was doing on Nuke and on Mirage, that maybe Bait would have given themselves at the very least the edge. Hedrick and esenthial are the ones leading the frag counts, but they're nowhere near as prominent. 17 and 16 kills seem to indicate. Kenzizor trying to prod out from canals into electric. The Molotov landing right inside that smoke does nothing. Simki got another one down just to hold the position. The Caesar bats off. They have their heart set on the A play.
Yeah, this is now down to Chofo because he doesn't have the same amount of help that he's had in previous rounds. Brute Monster with the AWP is actually going to try and rotate out towards Bricks or Heaven to be the second A player.
Incendiary up to block. Quick press forward. Chofo's AK back to away. esenthial with 2 fantastic kills. And Kenzizor can follow it up immediately. Zero Tenacity. Avid and Simki have no choice but to fall back and hold their weapons. In the blink of an eye, Bait backhanded Z10.
And Chofo's done nothing wrong there. He's jiggled the angle. He's dropped the incendiary at the right time. He's dropped the smoke at the right time. What they can't do is refrag the players towards main. That is a ripper of a multi-frag to come through for esenthial, and then for Kenzizor to back up that 3rd kill, in which Brute Monster, Namana, and Chofo have got bodies on A, but they can't get impact. They can't get bodies to drop. And Bates make it 11-11, and it is a harsh economy line. Simki's going to have to drop 1, Namana's going to have to buy himself, and then maybe Avon drops the likes of Chofo.
Tactical timeout from Zero Tenacity to figure out the buy and figure out the play. Because once again, Bates have made themselves a key threat. The Zero Tenacity have held the lead for the majority of this final map. Every time Bates seem to equalize or take a step closer towards Zero Tenacity, they come back and they return. Reclaim the lead, reclaim control, reclaim dominance over this series. The money is in ruin for the CT side, though. If Bait win round 23, then surely they'll win Anubis and win this best of 3. The first strike in Z10's win-loss record here in the Challenger League. SMG for Brute. weakest weapon in play at the moment. Simke's jumping for info. He had head trick there to try and receive him. A smoke comes down towards Electric, so he won't be allowed much more vision from there.
Yeah, there's a bit of a prod outside B main. You've got Avon that's just been jiggling ever so slightly and hasn't seen anything. And Chofo and Brute Monster have got a lot of util towards him. This is actually going to be a quicker A-exec.
Flash in from head trick, smoking support. Mollies from Chofo going to try and block them, which will be successful. The smoke comes right back. Another incendiary is right ahead of it. Esenthial close. Does get a kill away. Chofo with a kill of his own. Alex returns fire. It's a 3-on-3, but he's low HP. The HE does not help with that situation, but he evades the majority of that damage. Bomb on site will get planted. Again, Z10 have the favor of the retake.
And they've got to make a choice, though. Do we actually want to commit for this? Save and we get a goodbye going into round 24, or go for it and risk it all?
They have got Alex low, but how much information do they have on that front? Incendiary is close. MPL will not receive that. HE sails right past the low HP player. Flashbangs in. The M4 of Namana leans closer. NPL with a kill. Alex picks up. Secondary pick back return, and Head Trick provides support from the back lines. And Bait are almost all the way through. 12-11. Money is wrecked for Z10. They're working on lost bonus, $2,400 worth. And it is map and match point for the Ukrainians.
And if there's anyone, Jay, that we wanted to talk about being a match MVP or the difference maker, I think it has to be esenthial's 1v2, right?
Yeah.
If that round does not get one in the 1vx, this game is done. We probably don't even get Bait to double digits. That's how much has been won off of the back of a huge clutch. The ramifications of destroying the economy line, of pushing momentum, allowing confidence to be high. MPL finally striking with the raw impact that he's been hunting for all of this second half. And for Zero Tenacity, this is going to be a gimmicky kind of round. This is where you're going to be on the front foot and you're going to be searching for an opening fight to upgrade one of those SMGs into an AK.
The seasoned youngster had all of the emphasis on him over the course of this series, and he's going to get overwhelmed on Namana's part. Alex is very good to respond. Once again, Zero Tenacity try something ballsy. It nearly worked out, but Bait will not be fooled so quickly. They will not allow those advantages to fall out of favor. It's a 4v4 for now. They're leaning in towards A main without the bomb's controls, completely dry without utility. There are two players watching it though. Brute with util ready to go down. Simke will strike off the back of that. Kenzie's all seen. Kill found. Swing to the second. And Brute turns on esenthial the same. And just like that, Z10 spring a trap. Bait walk right into it. And it seems like we're on for yet another overtime this evening.
With how good the execs towards A have looked in these last handful of rounds from Bait, and the idea that it's a 4v4 against a weakened buy, I am so surprised that that is a contact play. That they are going in dry and that they are hoping to catch them off guard. And just commit to the XE, keep it simple, have the AKs drawn up and be ready for the fights against the weakened weapons. Does one incorrect call come back to bite them in overtime now? Because Alex, yeah, he might be able to get the bomb down for free, but 1v4, he's just got no chance in this.
Planting risky for that Temple player. Also going to come in from Temple, all timing. Back will be turned towards them for the time being. Checking canals for now. Rotation angle locked off. Flashbangs sent over. Avin checks it. Alex now revealed. Hold the defuse down. 1 kill, 2 kills. Found him. Molotov's going to force him away. They're on the 10-second stick, though. If Alex is going to go for this, you're going to have to go for it right now. Joffo involved in this. The Molotov's going to come in far too late. And we are on for overtime official.
Indeed we are, and it was Namana's gutsy call to go for that aggressive mid-play to get that 1-for-1, but the A-side defense, Simke's attention was helped with the T-side being drawn towards Brute Monster, who was just jiggling down on the angle to just start ripping them to pieces. And if we're going to use the logical idea of what happened on Nuke, the team that struggled to close in regulation wins out the first round of overtime, I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on here to see do Bait go 13-12 up.
Can they make it a flawless opening half like Z10 did on the overtime of Nuke?
At least they're on T-side Anubis. If we're using that chain logic, the chance looks pretty good.
Well, Brute struck first though. Kenzie's oars down. Back from mid, this one pain point for Bait. The Z10 have exploited quite frequently over the course of their run-ins against them. Simki combining with his teammate Electric, doing damage towards Headtrick, who's next to pay the price. He's not dead yet, though. It's a 5-on-4.
Esenthial just trying to clear out the majority of A main with that deeper HE. Headtrick, he's just getting challenged by the Jules and Electric, the HE from the A player. What can you do on 19 points of health? Basically be a running decoy for Esenthial.
Bombs on his back, though, so if he's going to do that, best to pass that off to his teammate. Hunker down outside of Electric. Look for the B commitment. There's 3 players on the defensive. Esenthial will get one of them. Brute's going to respond with the AWP pre-fire. Baits that orb to make a mistake. Avon goes falling, but Brute still fragging. 3 picks in the round for him. Finally overwhelmed by Esenthial's casualty. 2-on-2. He's got to do so much on his lonesome, though. Headtrick is still low HP. The bomb plant will be secured. The retake is on.
Esenthial's clutch before. Let's say he can win another 2v2.
Headtrick covered off by the smoke. The mana barely covered away. Not seen just yet. AK at Glyph will hide and wait and spot and spray. And maybe Esenthial will get a little bit more support than he anticipated. The smoke clears and Chofo's seen. He takes his pick back, but he had no idea where Esenthial's coming from. A triple of his own will secure the first of overtime for Bates.
Just livid if you're Zero Tenacity. Not only have you won an opening AWP pick for Brute Monster, but you've done so much damage down to Headtrick on the T-stairs and Water Canal area, and you haven't capitalized on that kill. Okay, doesn't matter. Huge hold on the bomb site. Brute Monster, he's playing default, he's looking left, he's looking right, he's trying to stay alive, he's got away with a triple, and it's not a converted round. This is where mental game starts becoming a big factor when you start thinking to yourself, how's the tilt getting involved? How's the confidence feeling? And Bait, all accounts, shouldn't be winning that round. But in the 2v2, they show their depth of quality and they outclass Zero Tenacity on the post.
And they take the lead again. Can they hold it is the next question. Gotten through that first step. The win to start off the overtime. Now to win the half and preferably win the overtime with that as well. 16 is the magic number. 3 more rounds to Bait to get there. Z10. Damage early against Brute. Not sure what caused that, but that's going to be a hindrance towards him. Chofo, Molotov ahead of his position, but not so deep that he can't get out at May. He finds Kenzizor as a result.
I love the commitment there from Chofo, but also for him to back off, to realize that going in for a second kill just isn't necessary. Namana might be able to catch MPL on a timing too. Aggressive play in from mid.
Not quite looking down into that cubby corner though. MPL is focused here upon the canals. Namana's mid presence being watched by Headtrick. Well placed. Read that like a book. The advantage tips the way of Bait, even if they are heavily tagged up, especially in the case of the AWP. Slowing it down here for the T-side line. A site is the easier hit. It's only Chofo to defend.
And Namana's been a bit two-dimensional at times with these aggressive mid plays, and it's come back to bite him consistently. MPL up against Oven, the round collapsing, and pressure is just building against Z10 now, isn't it? Because this round is just done. A 2v3 or 2v4, at least you're gambling. At least you're both on B.
Pick the right side to rotate to. MPL gets caught by a collateral. His teammate was standing right behind him as Brute turned this back around. He may well have just done. Chofo's picked up. Alex trades him. Needs to go right into the AWP's hands. And Brute has become the hero of Zero Tenacity as we go even again.
Oh, the gamble stack comes through with the AWP success. Beautiful repositioning from Brute Monster. Notice that underhand flash that comes through from Alex does not blind him because he's playing on the left-hand side of the pillar, gets an easy shot in the 1v1, and it is a recovery of the ages. This has been 2 rounds back-to-back now in which Brute Monster has got 6 kills in OT.
That is mental. Perfect positioning, perfect timing. The 2v4 won out almost single-handedly by the AWP. And Bait back to the drawing board to reclaim the lead. Namana straight through the smoke has found NPL again. Alex will trade back Avan at least. So it maintains at a 4-on-4, but Kenzizor's revealed with a fantastic HE at the edge of that smoke. It tips the way of Z10 again.
We've just had 12 rounds of regulation of really slow T sides, running the clock, pressurizing mid, working A splits, to now in overtime where things are getting very chaotic. We're seeing a lot more aggressive fights from both sides, and we're seeing a lot more proactivity from the CT side.
Alex has fallen in mid. Joffo quickly making his way back in from the camera entrance to defend against the site hit that's coming in now. Esenthial and Headtrick have been seen. The flashbang will try block them. The Molotovs will try drive the CT back. Rotations are inbound. Second players there. Headtrick has landed on Namana. Molotovs up towards heaven. Further smokes down at camera. Could still find that secondary entry point as Brute's orb starts pressing. Esenthial going to get caught back by Joffo. Headtrick, too many angles to check. He will not get away with any of them. 14 to the board of Zero Tenacity. They reclaim the lead over Bait and take the half in overtime.
And sometimes in OT, it's the players that you least expect to show up the most. And Brute Monster has been that guy. His overall form with the orb was hardly seen in regulation, first half or second half, but yet he's come into overtime. He's been an X-Factor player. And what were we saying for the majority of this series? Better team play from Z10, but more X-Factor for Bait. I wouldn't expect for that to change going into overtime, but perhaps pressure has put something down onto Brute and put some life into Z10.
Made the ultimate difference. Taking lead over Namana and Choffo's efforts at the top fraggers of the board. Headtrick and Esenthial have tried to turn things back against them here in the overtime. Their efforts have been for naught thus far. Now they're on the CT side. They made it even at the turn of regulation. The T-half did not do enough in overtime. Can they make amends on the defensive? Can they turn back a decent sequence? Headtricks. Oh, what a shot. What a shot that is. He started well.
And no flash assist, no util even going down towards A main, but Simki's hoping that he can catch a reposition, turn away from the flash, out in electric against the first, but not quite the second against Esenthial.
Keeps control for Bait. Z10 nearly had the round of the palm of their hands, and Simki got that, then surely that should be number 15 on them. Alex, so close in the smoke. We'll run past it. Choffer's picked up. He transfers back to Avan. He gets the dink in on the 9 HP, but he's alive. 3v2 as a result. Bait now have Headtrick. The HE coming in. That should get Avan and Namana. Now he's up to clutch. 23 deep. Led the charge for Zero Tenacity across regulation. It may be more emphasis on his teammates, but now it's time for him to turn up the heat.
At least he's getting respect. They're not fighting him right now, so he'll be able to get the bomb down. The problem is, how much space do you have once that bomb gets planted until you need to take a duel?
10 seconds. Plant and stick. Headtrick checks. Shot down. Not even a plant. 14 all. We're even again.
And that is what we're seeing now from the previous round to the last couple. It is one player making a difference of a move or a multi-frag that's just basically the tail on who's going to convert. Right there, it is easy to recognize that if that multi-frag comes through from electric, you just B-split and you get the bomb down easily. Bait just about tie up, and Brute Monster still wants to bring the AWP forward. You've got a bit more emphasis of players towards water in this round than previous.
Slow to position. Zero Tenacity. Working their way up towards the A-bomb site hit, where you have Headtrick ready to receive. His AWP flashed off position, backed away. Counter incendiary ahead of the Molotovs are coming forward. You're right about that. Look at the backstab. No, Alex checks it. The insertion towards mid goes awry. He sprays blind on towards the main entrance as smoke start coming down from Z10, telegraphing where the hit is, but are they ready to commit?
I think this has to be a cancel. There's no way you can commit here. They're looking to double pump. The problem is Brute's not getting a kill. Brute's trying to get a pick towards the water, and it's just not happening.
Namana nearly stuck his way forward, but Alex had his marked. What a moment that could have been. Another backstab against Bait. They had a couple of those mid-insertions from the Mana during regulation. Now Brute tries to find a different angle of attack, at least to make some noise here towards the B bomb site. The bomb's still out there towards main. The Orpa checking all corners. Esenthial gets seen. Good shot, but head trick to Simki in the meantime. So the main attacking force is going to drive their way in towards the A bomb site, and they're backed up as head trick gets another kill. Finally overwhelmed as he stalled for enough time. Truffles on 14 points of health. He's that headshot not going to happen. Bait are back on match point again.
And it's the right idea for Zero Tenacity. They put more emphasis towards the Orpa of Hetrick, don't they? They flash him off the angle. They drive him back. Everything is telegraphed as if it's going to be an A exec. Everyone in from main. And Namana is hoping that the CTs are tunnel visioned, that both of their eyes are just basically locked on towards the main entrance. And instead, the solo mission, the lurk through the camera smoke is unsuccessful. Bates, and we saw them be on this position before, be on the series point. Now they've got another one to close.
Early tags against Kenzie Zor, however, will favour the Zero Tenacity side. Two players on the A defense, Alex and Headtrick. Headtrick been stellar on the AWP. We will not be seeing anyone crossing past his crosshairs this time. I think Z10 are recognizing his danger. The top fragger of the board for his squad. One of three players on 20 or above kills. The Mana inserting towards mid, being discovered there by Alex. Not being accounted for by the B players here. MPL takes damage.
A 3 on B is a good move, and even the CTs are starting to press out towards water.
Molly on Glyph will force Kenzie Zor back away. Simki starts to look to move. Damage done towards two players on the defensive, and they get picked up real quick. Kenzie Zor esenthial down. Still one player on the backside. MPL can't do anything about this, though. He's so low. Needs his teammates. Alex can strike back towards one, only one. Namana can move on from mid. Headtrick making his way in with a deagle. MPL can take Avon back, but now with his casualty of his teammate, he's in a 1-on-3. Not going to happen. We go again.
Indeed we do, and while that was a pretty good read from Bait with having 3 on B, with the A players aggressing out for water, they just couldn't hold the bomb site. You've got Simki coming out of Electric, who just starts doming, just starts opening up space, gets that bomb down freely, and even ends the round with a triple. Both teams have shown moments in overtime in which they could have capitalized and closed out the map and closed out the series, but it just hasn't come. And now I just start thinking, especially in double OT, it's just going to be X Factor Central, isn't it? We're going to start seeing clutches. We're going to start seeing individual moves win or lose rounds.
$19 is the new magic number. Zero Tenacity taking damage early to Brute's part, half HP on the start. Alex tanked a bit as well for the Bait side. Engagements out towards that A main contact. Neither side to yield on the kill counts. It's the exact same setup for Bait. Zero Tenacity. Heavy-handed in the mid-fight this time.
Brute's got to find a way to be more consistent, because in the 6 rounds played in the first overtime, 2 of which were triple kills, and then 4 of which he got 1 kill combined.
Well, Simki's going to get no kills here at the starting round of overtime. Second pick on the Mana, not quite landed by a head trick. Missed his shot and missed his chance. Will now back away. Hold contest over at main. 5-on-4.
Now, MPL is trying to toy with the T's. We saw this crossfire from Z10 in regulation between Namana and Avon.
It's going to work well for NPL. Sacrifices esenthial well enough. Brute and Choffo. Now 2 versus 4 for them to work with. Should be round done here, assuming that no more shenanigans happen, although with these same 2 players in the last 2v4, Brute's going to prod first. Headtrick is watching them, scoped him with his own orb. A second kill in the round for him, looking for the third. Chofo got so many other CT players to deal with, so even if he doesn't get it, it shouldn't matter. Headtrick will lock in 29 kills so far in this map, and 16 on the board of Bait.
He's actually been a bit of a silent killer, I want to say. I haven't felt the impact from Headtrick in regulation, but the numbers keep toying up, and maybe it started with that A pick that he had on top of the bench, that first flick that he had, and then we started seeing a little bit more multis from him. We started to see more consistent kills going into overtime at least. Lead by 1. Z10 need to find the response quickly.
Swinging from Alex, going to go very wrong very quickly. Brute covers him off, even while blinded by the flashbang. That leaves A site undefended for now. Headtrick is focused entirely on mid. Having faith that Zero Tenacity won't go charging forward, although they recognize some of the setups. Meanwhile, a B prod's going to come out here from Bait. Seen on one player, esenthial gets the kill. Tag up heavy on Namana. Kenzizor turns on Avan, and that is the man advantage regained.
And now Z10 can start getting a move on and get this bomb down directly on A. The problem that they're going to find is, where do we take space in the post plant? Because they're a man down.
Headtrick's AWP fires away, spotting one player crossing, but not able to get the kill against him. So the man advantage will remain at a single player. They may need a bit more than that, though. Esenthial with solo HP. Kenzizor just got picked up by Brute. The second shot doesn't land, though. Esenthial is found by Chofo. MPL has made it a 2 versus 2. Headtrick also moving in from camera. Going to check out from Heaven. Smokes involved against both of those entry points. Headtrick lands on Simki. Chofo is unknown at this juncture. He's sneaking around the smoke. Headtrick's 5-7 is pulled out. And he lands the headshot. 17 now for Bait. Are they finally pulling away from Zero Tenacity?
Chofo's made the right call. They need a playmaker to force a fight and slow the round down. He's overextended the angle. He's caught the deep player out in CT. The issue that he finds is that there's not really any way you can go from that point onwards, is there? Heaven smoked, so you have to go bricks. You can't go through the smokes. You try and work around the edge, but he's being watched, he's being pre-aimed, and that's Headtrick to get yet another multi-frag round in back-to-back rounds.
One more in the half. Bait will lose the opening fight once again. Brute to get Kenzizor this time. Start leaning in towards canals, where esenthial is still there to try and pick up the pieces of his dead teammate. Alex takes damage on the fights out from camera. Namana's insertion point now covered off by smokes. The T's are looking to attack onto that B bomb site, but this one look can make a massive difference depending on how he plays it out against Headtrick. A second kill was found for Namana at this stage. Alex is in so much trouble. Meanwhile, the execution continues, but it's all a ruse. It's all a fake. Alex may be all alone for the full-blown defensive. His teammates cannot rotate to support him. And he's only got 34 HP, but he's doing it alongside MPL, who takes Avan back. A 3-on-3 is established. Now Alex can back away, concede the bomb plant, but all three are tagged up for Bait on the retake.
It's just a lack of util from both squads on this post and retake. Brute's going to hope to try and hold camera, and if he gets a swing from Bricks, try and adjust to the right-hand side.
Alex the Sentinel moving in. Shot misses for Brute. Namana's going to come in with support, and Brute recovers the situation. Doubles up, triple in the round. And Zero Tenacity stave off the match points.
And that takes some proper guts there for Namana. You are 2-0 down in the first half of overtime, and you make a lurk, which, if we're going to be realistic, the last few lurks have been unsuccessful, haven't they? They've always warranted an opening def. It hasn't drawn over rotations. I love in that round that with just a single kill, it just puts confusion in for Bait. Are they going B? Are they going A? It's so deceptive, and it's Namana allowing himself and his team to completely crumble Alex and make it tough on A.
One round separates once again. Bait on the T side with an advantage this time. Chofo burning already. Brute has caught Alex. He's constantly opening up these frag counts now up to 23 on his board. You want to see more consistency out of him, Dweg? Well, you're getting it now. Bait suppressed by it, but they've recovered from man disadvantages so far in this overtime. Not from this though. Kenzie's down. NPL is down as Brute gets a second kill in the round for himself. Head Trick and esenthial 2v5.
They're just completely trapped, surrounded. You've got no space, you've got no freedom. The only thing that you can hope for is if the CTs get eager. If they just try and keep fighting you, that's the only way you can recover this kind of round.
Head Trick now knowing the bomb on his back. Took a shot, doesn't connect. Regrouping with esenthial, they must know that the A site play is the most likely. Still going to keep 3 players over towards the B lane, although one is beginning a rotation of Avan, Namana, and Chofo. Flashbang to suppress the T's, to stall for even more time, get even more presence, and get even more backup here. Head Trick leaning forward to the AWP, esenthial point blank. Chofo's going to cut him off. Head Trick, one decent kill. And a knife comes in from Namana to really get inside the heads of Bait. 17 all. And Zero Tenacity refused to allow the opposition to get ahead of any worth.
Both teams are fighting so hard for the win right now. For Zero Tenacity to go undefeated and top the group at 3-0, and for Bait to redeem themselves after losing to an upset win against Spirit Academy. To beat Arc Red, to beat Zero Tenacity back-to-back will feel as if this is a chance for them to finally give themselves a good seed in the group stage. Namana, HE down towards water. It looks a bit quicker. Not quite a Rugs rush, but maybe a quicker A-exec.
Flashing their way forward on Chofo. Smoke's going to be a little bit late, but he'll be able to block off at least some of the T-side players. Kenzie's getting a kill off. Namana doubles up. Chofo getting one of his own. NPL needs to get training alongside Head Trick, who now stands alone. It was a fast play, but Namana stood strong alongside Chofo. 31 kills for him, looking to match Head Trick in a moment, but Brute takes it away from him. And Zero Tenacity, now they're the ones on match points.
And that actually is mega unfortunate because Namana normally starts mid. They don't often start 2A unless they've got the AWP over from Brute. And in that round, it's just the read of let's have a crossfire of 2 towards main. Let's have Namana and Chofo to work off one another. And between them, they just clean up, don't they? They absolutely clean house there. Bait, for the first time in this series, they've given series point to Z10 now, haven't they? It's always been the series point in the other direction. So now you've basically got to fight for survival. You've got to push for another overtime. This is a chance for Z10 and a bloody good one at that.
Number of times that Bait have had a chance to close out this series and they have not been able to capitalize. Now the onus rests with Zero Tenacity. One opportunity to close the series down. Will it be enough? Will Bait press on and take us to yet another overtime? In a long and arduous series that promises to deliver towards the very end. We are the last stream standing tonight here on ECL. Who is going to stand for longer?
Well, this has been one of the most passive T-side rounds we have seen in a while. Not a single contact in the first 30 seconds. Slowly getting back into the canals. Putting the mid-smoke down. Trying to drive Namana and Chofo more defensively. Kenzie saw jiggling on the mid-bridge. This is shaping up for what looks to be a B split. 2 players in the bomb to come in from main. NPL to be the late lurk, and then could be the canal play too for the other individuals towards A.
"45 seconds for Bait to make the move. Looking to go towards his B bomb site. Head Trick setting up smokes. Flashes will come in. Counter smokes right there for Avan. Perfectly timed against them as well. They'll have to push forward. A third player now joins the fray on the defensive. The Molotovs will go deep towards Simki. They won't spread towards him though. Esenthial out in the open, needs a kill. He's lost Alex. Right behind the smoke goes another player. He just catches him with a stray. Alvin down. 4 on 3. Bait start to back away from the site. They secured the plant. Simki does not know where they're hiding from. And they have to go for the retake here. Z10 have no other choice.
And they've got one smoke for either the bomb or main. That needs to be used soon.
Head trick misses a shot. Simki can try punish that. Second player from main. Head trick leans forward and Simki gets taken out. Brute and Chofo now towards the bomb. There's a smoke right towards it. The defuse, the ninja, it's coming right through, but it does not last for long. Bates have pushed us the distance. 18 all, it's OT3.
Well done from Bait. Pressure's high in rounds to that nature, and they actually look quite comfortable in doing so. They have some good util towards the backside. Haven't seen that many straight-up B execs outside of crunches or mid-round XEs. 18 to 18, anybody's game at this point onwards. I wonder, when are we going to see a double orb? Does that come through on a CT side or even a T side for that matter?
Now Wemby out right here. Single orbs for Brute and Head Trick respectively. MPL. Quick charge up. HE's to open a smoke. Star sees his man, but hesitates for a moment. Was expecting it to be a player to the right-hand side as well when preempted the flick. Went down for it. Head Trick also took damage. And Simki's return at 52 points of health. Esenthial gets the trade back to a 4-on-4.
Everyone's just making plays right now. As soon as they lose a player out from mid, Esenthial knows he needs to challenge. Brute Monster makes it 2 as he re-aggresses in from mid by himself.
Kentizor didn't see that one coming. Advantage now tips the way of Zero Tenacity more permanently. Look at the push also towards Fnauz. Esenthial going to get Namana, but he might run right in towards Simki here. The bomb will be exposed towards middle. That's a kill and a half, and an easy one there for Simki. Brute Orp lines up 2, only takes 1. Alex fallen to the triple with the big green gun to the CT side. Oh, what a shot! Quadra with a perfect pixel angle on the head. 29 for Brute. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful for Zero Tenacity.
Keep this game going. This is tier 2 at its very best. Impact moments, X-Factor rounds, and players doing the unthinkable, using confidence to their advantage to just decimate opposition. Brute Monster with 4 gives Zero Tenacity a lead of 1.
Bait. Down on the scoreline. Zero Tenacity. Love another chance to take full control, and certainly they've deserved it. Esenthial will try lead them in towards main. The smokes, however, will block off his teammates. He'll press ahead to try and avoid the contact. The Molotov. The CTs are posting.
Now watch this fight from MPL versus the aggressive Oven. It's actually not a full extension. The M4's playing an off angle to try and pre-aim against MPL.
He might run right into it. Oh, what an adjustment! Christ, on a bendy bus. Oven didn't see that coming, and neither did I. AWP and Brute now being pressured from 2 different angles here. The split onto B is in full effect. The second player's joined them. Kenzie's all, 2 kills of his own with headshots to the drive-bys and all. And Zero Tenacity, Namana and Chofo. 2 on 5, extremely difficult retake to make work, and they know it's going to be difficult, borderline impossible. Have to go for it 'cause it's OT. Chofo thinking it's better to hold on to the M4. Bait. Number 19 locked in.
And if you are Avon, what do you say? You've done everything right there. You've got an off angle. You're pre-aiming. It's the right read. They've cleared out B main. They've left a single player to hopefully get a pretty easy kill. He can stall for some time, buy some rotation room. They can stack up mid a bit heavier. They can stack up A because of the info. And for that off angle to not even be pre-aimed, and yet MPL can still win the fight, I just want to say that's unlucky for Avon. He should get the drop on him there every single day of the week.
We're all squared up. And there's the double ops that you finally were looking for. Dwayne in the hands of Bait. Alex with one, finding Brute to kick things off. Head trick on 35 frags. He's placed himself outside of the A main position, waiting for an aggressive CT fight to come his way. The B site angle for Alex, getting right back to that AK-47. Playing out with a regular rifle with a man advantage in tow.
It just makes sense when you've got so much money. Especially on T side when you can drop an AK and an AWP, get the pick and then just transfer over to the other rifle. Patience here for Zero Tenacity. Not making much of a prod on an info play with the man disadvantage.
Mollies go back and forth with Electric. HE is coming in from Simkey. And try and engage against this T-side line, but will not be able to land them.
Chofo's got a smoke for Namada if he wants to play around it.
Pushing forward to smoke. Namana flashed in. No one found. Head trick was unaffected. And the kill comes in easy. The HEs to burst open the smoke will now allow them to try and break their way to the bomb site. MPL to call Avon in mid. In the meantime, Chofo stands alone and falls alone. Simkey, 1 on 4. Knows that he's done here in this half, knows that Bait are going to take the lead. 2019. And there it is.
I could see the vision. That setup with how many T-side players are in main, with a flash around the corner, if no one's playing anti-flash, that might be highlight of the day. That could be 3 kills, 4 kills coming in there for Namana, but with Hetrick not being blind by playing anti, you're just a sitting duck in the open. I ponder the idea on how many more series points are going to be wasted. We've had, what, 2 for Bait? And we've had 1 for Zero Tenacity, and we're still playing on. You just can't afford to give away when you've got the point to claim all.
Flash forward, Kenzie Zor. Gonna find Simkey, spots and sprays him, gets him down. Advantage taken by Bait. Chofo gonna look for Alex next up, who tries to engage. Doesn't see him in the corner. Molotovs and flashes will try and put that player back. Give a little bit of space to Z10, who have lost a man. Need to gain so much more.
Zero Tenacity have won 2 out of 2 overtime maps in ECL this season, whereas Bait have gone 0 for 1. Whether that makes a difference out here on Anubis when it comes to closing, perhaps it does.
MPL gets caught off guard. Alex trades back on Amana quick. Advantage for Bait is maintained. Z10. Cannot seem to get the advantage, cannot seem to get the trades to their favor. Fighting back hard for them. Looking to lean into the B commit.
Now, Avon's hoping for a duel before they can start putting util down. The unfortunate nature is that from Glyph and from Dark, there's just nothing presenting.
Incendiary lands inside the smoke. HE for Kenzie to open up, see a player and take him down. Head trick caught Avon in the meantime, and Alex blind sprays on Brute, going to do so much damage. He does land onto Head trick, but that will not be enough. 2 more match points for Bait. 2 more chances to close. They only need 1 of them. It's been a long fought best of 3. A very long overtime. And Bait certainly have had the majority of chances to close out this series. All they need to do is lock it in.
Alex starting up on A by himself. You've got MPL solo mid and that triple B, something we've seen so frequently from Bait. Alex with the aggressive molly towards an aggressive player outside of A, but it's slow. It's mid-heavy from Z10.
Bait have come up with the counters with everything that Z10 have thrown at them here in overtime. They know about their playbook. They know about their strategy and approach to the mid-control, especially for Namana. who's taking teammates with him, and no one is watching it here for Bait. MPL is going to start making his way into the back of Temple. Alex stands alone on the site defensive. Utilities coming in against camera, though, so it indicates that they might end up going towards the B-Rap play. A push in from Canals, meanwhile, from Kenzie Zor will start to gather info.
Yeah, this is very tight, and the first contact looks to come from esenthial. Chofo gets caught out from Rugs, though.
Avon mowed down by esenthial. AWP shot from Brutes missing now. He can go no further than 30. esenthial gets Stimky next up. Another missed shot for the AWP. Now leaves Nirvana all alone. AK 1v5 can land on Alex, but needs to go back for the bomb to run right into esenthial's hands, who closes with a stellar Quadra shot, and the end of the series for Bait. 22-19 on Anubis. 2-1 overall, hard fought, battled back, and damn near lost control at several points, but they maintained their victory, giving Zero Tenacity their